Hello, everyone. I would jump into this intro copy, but I'm going to wait till chat tells me we're actually okay. Come through, Doc or Bucho. We are seriously waiting on you, or Bates. Just tell me that we can be heard, seen, and everything. You guys are amazing. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Symphony. Symphony Entertainment, Gaming, and Arts is my gaming company that focuses on horror systems, indie games, organic content, and player agency to bring a symphonic approach to horror role-playing. I am your host, Bridgett Jeffries, and this afternoon, at least for me, for some people across the sea, we're getting in the evening, we are playing Transparency for the highly anticipated, and at least around Symphony hallways, thirst-inducing game from Graham Walmsley, Cosmic Dark. I will allow Graham to tell you all about it more because I might be able to hype it a little bit more than him because I'm dumb excited about it, but he'll be able to give you actually more real detail on it. One quick announcement, Symphony Entertainment does have a Patreon. Graham does too. He'll tell you more about that here in a second. If you like this content and you would like to help me make more of it, please consider backing us on the Symphony. Tiers are backed out with a bunch of really sexy stuff, from postcards to free book products to PDF drops to art to exclusive and some cute stuff that I should probably have memorized and written down. Anyways, you can check out all of those sweet backer benefits over at patreon.com/Symphony Entertainment. Content warnings have been discussed with the cast and crew. We have reviewed red lines. The X card is in play. X's can be sent via private message to me in Zoom or to Graham privately in Zoom, or they can be done visibly on screen. If an X is called, no judgment passed, no questions asked. We move on, because if we tell story safely, we can get into some of the really horrible stuff that Graham is probably going to drag us through. We are also going to be using the red, yellow, green traffic light method, which can be called by any cast member at any time. So, without further ado, guys, let us unveil this cast. Cast members, please introduce yourselves. Tell us who you are, where people can find you, some of the things that you're into, and right now, I want to know what your favorite holiday is. Starting with Perry. Hit us, baby.
Hello, I'm Perry Clark, licensed marriage and family therapist here in the San Francisco Bay. I'm doing all right. I would say at this point, one of my favorite holidays is what's coming up for Halloween, because it's a time I get to spend with my niece and my nephew, her child nephew, carving pumpkins.
Nice. And we're not doing anything with character stuff because that's something that's all in Graham's hand. But tell us where we can find you. Tell us some of the things you do. You have some sexy things dropping in the future here, Perry.
So most of the time you can find me at my practice, which is Untangle and Grow Counseling here in the San Francisco area. Otherwise, I also have a podcast, which is called Untying Knots, Minds and Souls Untethered. And so next week, the 30th, we'll be having an interview with London Carlisle, got it right this time, who is also very much of a gaming fame. And in the following week, we will be having an interview with Richard Ruin of Moonlight on Roseville Beach, which is currently on Kickstarter.
Amazing. Looks like the bot is working today. That means Bridgett is working today. So if you want to connect with Perry's podcast and get in on really London and Richard, it's almost unfair to get those back to back. Definitely hit that link.
Hey,
Nic,
it takes work.
It does take work. Listen, and you're putting it in, honey. Listen, you're putting it in. Nic, hit us, baby. Who you are, where you be at, what you be doing. What's your favorite holiday?
Oh, yeah. Hello, I'm Nic. I'm Nic Rosenberg. You can find me over, especially on the Ain't Slayed Nobody podcast.
Hey.
Where I, try to, I don't know, be as chaotic and annoying as possible. I don't know what's it. Yeah, we have some Cosmic Dark coming out on Ain't Slayed as well, run by Graham. Bridgett is also there. It's amazing. Looking forward to this because that experience was wild, fully wild. What's my favorite holiday? Oh, I'm in San Francisco, happy to be another Bay Area representative. And my favorite holiday, this is tough. I love Thanksgiving, but I do love the Christmas season. But I feel like Thanksgiving, the holiday specifically, is because, look, I like to eat. I don't know what to tell you. I will accept no notes or judgment. I just like the food. Okay, that's it. I'm done.
Case closed and settled. No argument, no notes. And I'm trying not to get into the beans, greens, potato song because I really want to right now, but I'm going to hear that for 2 months here in a second.
That'll be the break music. Just break it.
Beans, greens. Okay, let me not. And last but totally not least, y'all know who this is. Graham, tell us all about it, and hold up the book again if you have it, because I just want to thirst over it as well. Who are you? What you be doing? Where you been at? And what's your favorite holiday?
I'm just ready to talk about dinner now. Can we not just, fuck this game? Let's just spend an hour talking about dinner. I'll be happy. It'll be good. I'm Graham Walmsley. I'm probably best known as the author of Cthulhu Dark, but I've done other things as well. If you go to Drive Through RPG, you can find them. You should do that now. You should basically just go and do that. Nothing happens in the first 5 minutes of the scenario. So if you spend 5 minutes just going to buy my shit, honestly, I'll kind of catch you up, and then we'll be fine. So yeah, Drive Through RPG. My latest thing is Cosmic Dark, which is a game of weird space horror. We're playing it tonight. It looks like that.
Yes, it does.
There you go. I'm really proud of Cosmic Dark. I'm releasing this gradually on my Patreon, which is www.patreon.com/Graham. If you're one of my backers who's backing me at $5 or above, give me a moment. I have just released this scenario to you. So if you like the scenario we're playing tonight, go to my Patreon. It's there now. If you don't like the scenario we're playing tonight, there's loads of other shit there as well, so go there anyway.
Thank you for the drop. I appreciate it.
Hey, have you got it?
I did. Thank you so much for that. It just landed.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
That's amazing.
No cheating, Bridgett. No cheating.
Sorry. Sorry. I'm just really excited because I got it.
I was thinking of faking that whole thing, but no, I did actually do it. I'm so glad you actually got that.
I did, yeah.
That's
It's
so
right here.
exciting.
Someone says Christmas is actually Bridget's favorite holiday. Gifts.
Lots of gifts, honey. Give it to me.
I'm on social media. I'm Graham Walmsley on Twitter, and I'm also on nice social media sites as well. I've got a Substack, grahamwalmsley.substack.com. I've told you about the Patreon, patreon.com/Graham. My favorite holiday is Christmas. I absolutely love Christmas. That's when in Britain we have the turkey and everything like that. And I've got a scenario coming out soon, which is the most gory, horrible Christmas scenario imaginable. I have recorded it for 8 Slayed Nobody. I'd love to do it here as well. Let's see what happens. Anyway, Christmas.
Whew. Can y'all see how big of a fangirl I am? I am so excited to read this. Anyways, thank you again, guys, everyone, for joining us. Go buy all the Graham shit. Go listen to all the Nick and Perry shit. And then I'm going to get out of my way so I can sit down and actually just enjoy the experience that it is playing beneath Graham. And then somehow I was fortunate and blessed enough to play next to Perry and Nick. Like, Graham, we're in your hands, baby.
Oh, is this me now?
Oh, it's all you. Yeah.
Cool. I was going to mentally prepare myself for a while, but no, right. Okay. The first thing I want to do, actually, before I go into sort of starting the game, is I just want to say about those content warnings. So you've probably seen these, but this is a scenario that plays games with memory. Also, if you've ever seen me GM before, you're going to know that how that's going to work out is I'm going to spend half my game going, are you sure you remember that? Why don't you just delete that bad memory from... So if any of that bothers you, like I know friends who are bothered by gaslighting and things like that, and and those are very real things. So if that does bother you, this probably isn't for you. And that's and that's what we're going to play. I'm really excited about this. Are you guys ready to start? Because we don't do character creation. We leap right in.
Let's go.
Green light.
Excellent. I love Perry's really confident nod.
Did he just
I'm
growl?
ready.
Did Perry just growl? The fuck?
Can you do a growl, Perry?
I can't do it today.
Nope, because I was on mute.
All right,
So
somebody
that was
growl.
somebody else.
That was my stomach talking about all this food. So, let's get some Cosmic Dark so we can get some green beans.
Yes.
Yeah, let's get this shit out of the way. Cool. All right. We're in the far reaches of space, and it's dark here. There's not many stars, just a sprinkling of stars. And the one thing that dominates the sky is this strange astronomical object. It looks like a wound, like a scarred over wound in space, and it glows gold. And in the gold light of this thing, we can see a ship, and it's a massive, massive ship. It's absolutely vast. And as it comes near, you can see it's crushed and charred as though something very, very bad has happened to it. There's a nameplate on the side, and it says The Transparency. And we can see 3 figures floating towards this ship in space suits. There's a ship behind them, which is where they came from. And these three figures, I mean, they look tiny compared to this massive, massive ship. They float closer, and this is you guys, obviously. So you come closer to this ship. It's towering. I don't know, how do we say this in space? It's towering above you. It's towering around you. It's like you're approaching this vast, charred wall. And there's a voice in your communicators which says, "Associates, this is the exchange. You're approaching the transport ship Transparency. Medical officer, please acknowledge."
Medical officer checking in.
Thank you, medical officer. Hardware engineer, please acknowledge.
Massive bang on the inside of... Oh, go ahead. Do you want it?
No.
Massive bang on the inside of my helmet. Exchange, come in again.
Hardware engineer, acknowledge.
Hardware engineer, acknowledged.
Hardware engineer, you're the hardware engineer. Your hardware should not go wrong.
Thank you so much for the clarity exchange. Much appreciated. It's their goddamn hardware.
And material scientist, please acknowledge.
Material scientist checking in.
Thank you, associates. Associates, you're going to search this abandoned ship and salvage anything valuable, including the computer core. You have your equipment. You have all your necessary scanners. Good luck. We'll be back for you in 24 hours. And what we're going to do, we're going to flash back in time, and we're going to tell the story of how you guys arrived here. Nic knows what's coming. I can see the look on her face at the moment. It was just this kind of slightly dreaded anticipation. It was great.
I love it. I love it. That's why I come here.
Right. Excellent. We're going to flash back in time, and we're going to tell the story of these characters growing up together, and and what happened before they arrived here. So, let's sort of talk about your home planet, and I think what I want to know first is give me some things about this home planet. I mean, what kind of planet is it, Perry? I don't know if you've done this before, so do you want to go first?
All right. Well, it is a planet that has its own population problems, just like old Earth. And that more than enough people are coming in, and there's always more people than ships.
Right. So people have trouble getting off the planet? Is that what it's about?
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. And so how does that manifest itself into, I mean, where do people live? Is it, well, go on, you tell me.
I mean, you've got a lot of high density housing.
Yeah.
And then the battle for who can get the best premium high density housing. Because these are just shy of becoming their own ecologies.
And so, right, so it's like almost like towering, towering. Structures.
Mega structures.
I liked arcology. Arcology was cool. So these towering structures, not exactly tower blocks, and there's competition to get the ones at the top, something like that.
Yeah, because those are the sections that have got the space for the pool, the faux putting greens, the place where you could actually grow trees that aren't in the communal park.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
I love that. Can we just imagine that there's like, the top levels are kind of linked by these walkways, and that, and there are trees and things growing up there. So you can sort of look up and see these park-like walkways. I love that. Cool. Tell me some more things about this planet. I mean, what does this planet do? What do people do for jobs? Things like that.
And part of why it's also on a premium is that it's mostly a water. It's mostly a water world. So the amount of actual
Right?
land mass
Oh, it's in a
is even
scarcity itself.
smaller.
Yeah.
So it's always been better to build up as opposed to out.
Oh,
But
that's nice.
beautiful oceans when they're not raging. So these
Mm.
buildings are also designed to deal with tidal forces.
Oh, here we go.
Can it be that the the land that is there has some sort of very valuable like mineral or something? So
Mhm.
there's a lot of mining, there's a big mining industry here, but basically like the land is ravaged by the humans that live and work there, and then the kind of output of their like that industry is often dumped into these large bodies of water. So like there's just kind of a polluted vibe kind of
Hmm.
across the surface of this planet.
Yes.
Love that.
So leaning into what you guys have beautifully developed, I'm getting this almost like New York City commercial industrial vibe where you can't expand out anymore because of the restrictions of the water, so everything expands up. But the higher you're up, that comes with like some classism issues, right? Because you get a better view of the
Hmm.
water, you're further away from the slums. If we're gonna do mining, could we do underwater mining? And
Oh
the
yeah.
majority of the engineers and the technicians that do like the underwater mining for this precious mineral are usually the ones that are on the like bottom half of this socio-economic tier. Like they're the ones that's literally pulling out this enriched gorgeous mineral for whatever it does, but it's that 1% that keeps getting higher and higher in the tier that are benefiting from it.
Hmm.
So really baked in classism factors that comes in with this.
Yeah.
And maybe like the underwater mining is like really dangerous, but there is the opportunity to earn a lot of money doing it, so you can like kind of elevate your station and the station of your family to try to like get to one of those top floors. But it's like it's one of those
Oh.
things where when you go into it, you know that there's like there's a decent risk, a non-trivial risk to your life.
Yeah, no, that's really, really great. And Bridget, I know I'm not meant to read the chat for this, but yeah, someone's just said, there's like tectonic plates, there's high volcanic activity, and so
Ooh.
Harry, you were saying that that there's waves, and I think that's what happens, right? So from time to time things shift, and at that point there's this sort of calamitous
Oh,
wave.
yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
when the volcanic reaction is going off, it's displacing large amounts of water, or the shifts that are coming up because you get rapid volcanoes developing offshore, not a lot of them making their way up to the surface level. And I'm sure there's even scientists right now trying to figure out how they can actually make that get to the surface level so there's new land
Mm.
as
Yeah.
well. But that's always throwing off massive waves of water. And while it might be a little more stable under the water, it's just wave upon wave hitting the cities.
I love that. No, I absolutely love that. Can you give me a name for this planet, someone?
Lavort.
Lavort, was that?
Mm-hmm.
Lavort. Fantastic. So we're gonna meet your characters now, and I want to I want to sort of start you off as children. So uh, Bridget, let's actually no, Perry. Let's start by imagining your materials scientist as well. I'm assuming as a young boy. Cozy Barnes, right? Is the name we've
Mm-hmm.
got.
Yep.
Yeah. And so let's imagine Cozy as a young boy, and he's playing somewhere on the planet. Where do kids go to play here?
Mm.
In Cozy's case, his parents were very protective, but in some cases overly protective. So one of the few places that he got to play often was the library.
Ah.
Nice. Okay. When you say you play in the library, are we reading books or are we messing about and doing something else?
It kind of varied between reading the books when you needed to, but there was
Yeah.
also a certain enjoyment that, as it was, parents were protective, but they weren't also the best in their relationship. So the library became the place to escape. And even though everything that's going on, books were often a lot of times more the friends, the adventures inside of them.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love that. So pick one of the other characters. We've got, I know we don't know the other characters yet, but let's just go for it.
Mhm.
So we've got Juno and we've got Vika. Pick one of them that's, that we're just going to make your best friend.
Let's go with Vika.
Absolutely. That's really great. So let's have the two of you in the library. And Vika, I just want to do a little short scene just between you two. Just hear you talking, really. And Vika, you're going to start by saying to Cozy, it's time to go. And we'll just see what happens from there.
Cozy, it's time to go.
Can I just get another 5 minutes, please?
Sure. I mean, we can just say that we lost track of time. What are you reading?
This one was an old one from Old Earth. I believe it was called 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Kind of on the
Which-
nose, don't you think?
Well, I mean, compared to last week's one, which was Those Who Fear Death.
I don't think I've read that one.
Well,
Where
that
you-
one. Okay, so I've been spending a lot more time in the sci-fi section and it's fantasy, especially these old Earth novels. It's like they're so different from where we are. There's so much more, so much to see and know.
I know. But maybe you could spend a little time trying to love this world too, instead of trying to escape from it all the time.
Yeah, I just need 5 more minutes.
Let's leave it there. That's absolutely beautiful. And that's great. So you guys grow up together and you're going to go to school together. And Vika, can you just pick one of the other characters? I mean, to be honest, it might be Juno, but let's see. To be your biggest rival.
Oh no!
This is the way. Yes.
Okay, it's got to be Juno, I guess. How wild would it be though if I was Cozy's best friend, but he wasn't my best friend? Anyway,
Actually,
yeah,
the
let's go with
rival.
Juno.
You have options. Listen, baby.
Mhm.
Tell your
I
story.
like Juno.
If you want to go for it, we'll do it either way.
No, let's go with Juno.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and so let's have the two of you in the school playground. I don't know what a school looks like on this planet. What does the school look like on this planet?
I think it's tons of students for every single teacher. You know what I mean? Like it's just like friggin' 75 kids per teacher, or something astronomical where nobody gets individual attention. Like it's ruthless. You kind of have to really work hard to stand out. And again, this is like one of those things where performing well in school in these like really adverse circumstances increases your likelihood of being able to move up in the world.
Yeah, I like that.
Great. So let's start with the two of you in the playground or whatever passes through a play area. And yeah, I love the idea of this sort of little set aside play area. It's very small. Everyone's quite close together. And it's sort of, you're looking up at these much richer properties. And Vika, let's start with you saying, you know what I do better than you.
You know what I do better than you?
Nothing, Vika, is what you do better than me. Absolutely, positively nothing.
Well, I guess we can add being observant and grounded in reality to the list.
You came all the way over here to tell me that you were grounded and more observant than me.
Listen, I know what you've been saying about me, okay? I know what you've been telling the other kids. I know what you've been telling the teachers, and I'm not going to let you torpedo my future just because you're jealous or whatever your deal is.
That's your problem, Vika. That's always been your problem. It's your future. There are other kids here, okay? Some of us aren't eating every day, Vika, but so glad that you scored well on your marks. Some of these kids are sleeping on floors. I'm sleeping on the floor, Vika, but you know what? So glad that you're your teacher's pet of the week. Congrats.
Listen, I'm not indifferent to the struggles of others, okay? But what am I supposed to do about it? If I can get ahead, then I can help people when I'm in a position to do so. I'm not going to let you jeopardize that.
Oh, you keep telling yourself that, Vika. You keep telling yourself that.
That's beautiful. Let's leave that. I absolutely love that. So Vika, now sorry if I missed something here, but are we establishing Vika? She's not rich, is she? She's not from
Oh,
a rich.
no.
No.
I feel like if there's like 20 rungs on the ladder of like
Yeah.
socioeconomic, she's like on rung 2 maybe, or like, I guess on rung 1 or whatever.
Yeah. And very much wants to climb the ladder and get it. How does she feel about her sort of her position on this planet? Because she clearly wants to get ahead.
I think that she feels motivated by her position, but not weighed down by it. I think that she sees it truly as a ladder. She sees it as an actionable, achievable thing, to just like do well and get ahead.
Cool. That's amazing. I absolutely love that.
I do too.
By the way, I think I just assumed some pronouns there. So I mean, if anyone wants to correct me, we will go with whatever pronouns you want. Are we all right with she, her, Nick for Vika?
Yes, that's fine. Thank you.
Brilliant. And what are we doing for Cozy?
He, him.
Yeah. Okay, great. Bridgett, let's come to you. So you guys grow up together through school, and I think as you grow up, you start seeing things change around you. And before there were kind of individual mining corporations, large companies, but maybe owned on the planet, and then more and more multinationals or multi-planet corporations come in and start mining and start taking it over. One of them is called Extraxa. And one day, all of you graduate from school and you need a job. So you're going to go to one of the Extraxa recruitment centers just to see how you get on. And let's Juno, let's start with you. And just pick one of the others who you admire. And it can be either. I mean, we could do this with Vika, we could do this with Cozy. I don't mind.
Time has elapsed.
Yeah.
The world is different. We're different. We're gonna keep
there
it
can
spicy.
Still be tension. I mean, you can still be tense, but there's a sense of admiration. Go on, you go.
No, absolutely love it. I'm gonna lean that direction because that's sexy. So the individual that I admire is Vika.
Okay, and let's just start with let's just start. So you're on this sort of form of transport to get to the Extraxa recruitment center. What form of transport do we have on this planet? Oh, go on. Someone throw something out.
Monorail, bullet train style monorail.
I love it that are connecting these towers over bridges or underwater. Oh, there have to be underwater rails. Yeah.
Maglev.
Yeah.
Future.
No, it's lovely. And so at the moment, you're speeding across the water to the Extraxa recruitment center. The Extraxa recruitment center is, of course, not on land. It's sort of built in the middle of the sea. I mean, a bit like an oil rig.
Amazing.
And
of course it is.
Yeah. And you get closer and closer to it. And Juno, let's start with you saying to Vika, how do you stay so calm?
How do you stay so calm?
Just by remembering the hard work that we've done to get here. And remembering that it might be hard work going forward, but we've been through worse. We can get through this.
Really? The grounding thing from 20 years ago? That's where we are still?
Okay, I'm going to bring this up again.
Okay, yeah, here we go.
Look. I wasn't wrong, was I? We're doing it. We're moving up. We're going to get these jobs. We're going to make good.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever you say, Vika. We're moving up. We're doing well. My concern are the ones being left behind.
I know. We'll help when we can.
I love that. Let's leave that there. And at that moment, the monorail is going to go underwater and you will go into the Extraxa recruitment center. Maybe there's a moment where, having seen this, having seen this amazing recruitment center and this glossy monorail, and for a moment you were thinking, yeah, we're moving on up, and the monorail goes underwater, and maybe there's just a little leak, and it just shudders just a little, and for a moment you kind of think, actually, is this really sort of a moneyed company? How much do they actually care about people like us? And then the moment's gone, and you go into the recruitment center. And the good news for you all is you all, you are all employed. You don't have interviews or anything. They sort of do automatic checks on your bank records and your academic records and sort of things you've written online and things like that. And from that they can tell whether you're a good fit for the company. And you will leave immediately, and you go onto this ship called the Exchange, this vast transport ship, and it lifts into space. And I just want you to sort of imagine this like vast, multi-layered ship. So we have you'll enter on the cargo level. There's the living level where you'll spend a lot of your time, time living. There's sort of maintenance ducts and so on. And then right at the top, there's the AI that controls the entire ship. And through all of these, you sort of, as you're entering, as you're walking up to the living level, you glimpse these things sort of going round, ready to fix any problems, ready to fix like breaches in the hull. These sort of flowing metal creatures. There's these things called antibodies, which go around fixing problems with the ship as you go. They've got these sort of human-like hands and faces, but made of silvery metal. And you get on the ship, and it lifts up. And Cozy, let's just do one more scene with you. I just want you. Should we do a scene with you and Juno, because we haven't seen you two together yet, have we?
That was my bad. I chose Nick twice.
No. I knew we were going to repeat, so I was going to make sure you all got a chance to play together. And so let's have Juno and Cozy. You guys do know each other. You have grown up together, and you'll be on the viewing gallery, and you're going to look down at Levort, the planet you came from. Down below you, you're going up above the parkways and the arcologies, and you can see the vast amounts of ocean, although more and more of it is getting taken over by mining. And Cozy, let's just start with you going, you know what I'll miss the most?
You know what I'll miss the most? Not having to see my parents anymore. Because they were the only thing that was keeping me on the damn planet. Now I get to be as far, far away from them as I can get.
I pause for a very, very long moment, trying to process the gravity of that particular statement. Congratulations.
Yeah, it is. And, I've worked all of this time just to be able to get to this. So there's a thrill. But, I also feel a certain sadness. And I know that sadness isn't about them.
You identify what it is about?
I'm trying. I just know it's not about them. Maybe on some level, it's just all the people that I never got to know because I was trying to either please them or get away from this damn place.
And
the
ship. Oh, sorry, Perry. And the ship.
It's hard when your parents are also executives.
I love that. And so the ship lifts away from the planet and accelerates faster than you feel comfortable. And so in no time your home is a long way behind you, and it accelerates towards the far reaches of the galaxy. It takes a long time to get there. It takes months to get there, and eventually you see it getting nearer. It's like I said, it's very sparsely sort of sprinkled with stars, and there's this astronomical object, the glitch, with like a golden wound in space. And then the night before your first assignment, you go to sleep, and you go to sleep sort of standing up. I can just see Bridgett shaking her head.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so upset in advance. Oh, God. Let's go.
You-
Let's go, Graham. Look at Nick. We know.
You go to Perry. They're just going to sleep. I've no idea. I just, just so you know, what's going to happen is I'm going to talk in a really nice voice, and everyone gets upset. So what happens?
Sorry.
Every night when you go to sleep in these pods, these sort of semi-vertical pods, and you're used as you go to sleep to getting these questions asked. It's obviously some sort of psychological assessment, and at first the questions are quite normal, and they get stranger over time, and you realise the pod is sort of scanning you and monitoring you for your answers. So even if you did lie, the pod would probably know what the right answer was. And so I've got a flip sheet, so I've actually got the right questions in front of me. And so, Perry, the question that comes to you is, what is your most painful memory?
My most painful memory is sitting in my room listening to my parents argue. As my mother demands a divorce from my father, but he won't give it. And her response to him is, life with you isn't worth shit. But he responds back with the idea is like, maybe it's not worth shit, but it keeps the image together and it keeps us in this place. So I'm not giving up on our relationship, such as it is. We've got a kid to raise. And we're here in this place of comfort because of it. So you want to go back to all of that? Fuck no. And of course, this is at a much higher volume, back and forth. And just hearing the aspect of, I'm not the most important thing. This relationship's shit. They're more doing this for the values of what it serves them. I try to fall asleep to that every night, but at which point I turn on the light under my sheets and pull out the nearest book I can find. And this one's Octavia Butler, something about the xenogenesis, as I delve into that to try and tune them out. So my worst memory is not being needed, not being wanted.
Thank you, Cozy. And Vika, the question you get is, what's your strongest memory of your home planet?
I think it's the schoolroom where we had our lessons and took our tests. Is it weird that the thing I remember most about my childhood is the tests? Is the exams that we took? I don't know. I feel like I can still smell that room. Probably not a very exciting answer.
And when you're monitored during this Vika, is this a pleasant memory or not pleasant or mixed?
I think it's mixed, but I think that like you would detect an elevated heart rate. You detect like, some, I don't know, pupil response or something.
Mm-hmm.
She's activated for sure, but in her own mind, I don't think she has it painted as just a bad memory.
Mm. And then Juno, the question you get is, Juno, which of your memories would you forget if you could?
I took the fall in school for a crime I didn't commit. Because the child and the corresponding family, if she had taken that hit, it would have destroyed them. I could have survived it better than she could have survived it. I took the fall for it. That's not the memory I want erased, by the way, pod. The subsequent memory that I want erased is the following month when I was reinstated into the academy, the jokes that she was making, or the delight that she felt, or the triumph that she paraded around everyone knowing that she got away from it and I took the fall for her. I want to erase her lack of gratitude. Is that sufficient for you, pod? May I sleep?
I don't think the pod gives you an answer.
I hate you. I hate everybody. Okay.
So actually, just for Graham, talk me through this. So this other girl at school committed a crime. Did we say what the crime was?
I didn't. Would you like me to identify the crime?
Sure. Yeah, it's in your mind. Let's say it.
I have in my head that I have always been some type of an activist for those of the lower rungs of society. Probably wanted to be in some form of politics or activism, but my temper and my marks and probably that particular sanction was a barrier for me. What did she do? Oh, let me reverse tee that up to Perry or Nick. Do you guys have any ideas of what this girl may have done that I was like, you know what? I'd rather take that because her family wouldn't survive it. If she got that sanction, she wouldn't be able to da-da-da-da.
Cool. And then when you came back to school, she was,
I got
she
away
wasn't
with
grateful.
it. Yeah, she wasn't
Yeah.
grateful. I got away with it. I got someone else to take the fall for it.
Yeah, got it. Yeah.
I'll do it again. Things of that nature. I am curious about the crime. Either you guys have any good ideas of what it could be? Stealing food? Swapping
Stealing food
test
was
scores?
in my head.
Stealing
Yeah.
food is a good one, right? Swapping
Yeah.
test scores for people, something like that.
Or the midpoint between the two, like stealing the answer sheet for a big test or something. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh,
Yeah.
stealing food or the answer sheet, or like, yeah, the answer sheet for a big test. Graham, I'll let you decide between those two.
That's what she offered you in return for stealing the test for her. Food.
Oh, I don't think there was compensation on this one. I think Juno just jumped out there and was like, she can't survive that. Her family can't survive it, so I'll just eat it. Let's go food, because it was in Graham's head. Stealing food.
Do you know, can we go with the thing Nick said with stealing the test results? Because I really like that.
Let's go stealing test results. Yes.
Vika, how did you feel about someone trying to get ahead by stealing test results? Was that good or was that bad?
So I think that it was infuriating. I think that the idea of like put your energies towards actually studying, and if you can't cut it, then you shouldn't be advancing. And maybe this might be the moment. Bridgett, tell me how you feel about this. Where maybe Vika knew who actually did the thing, and this is where their relationship started changing. This was the inflection point. They could both hate this other person together.
No, I love that because Juno could have never come clean about it. She did the time for it. She got the sanction. It was irreversible at this point. I love that.
And maybe Vika was like, we got to tell the teachers the truth. We got to tell the administration the truth. And Juno was like, we're not doing that. And that's when, like in Vika's estimation, Juno was like, okay, she's a tough cookie. She's on the side of the angels.
I love this for us.
Now we're going to go back to these three. Well, you three floating closer and closer to this vast. I mean, it's like a wall in front of you, like this sort of slightly crushed, buckled, charred wall, and this is the transparency. And I'll leave you there, and you can work out how to get in.
Focus on the side of the ship. God, this is so disorienting. They didn't say anything about this in training. God, I got to focus on the side of the ship. Focus on the side of the ship.
Just find one.
Okay, the charring.
Just find one spot and just look at it for a while.
The charring. Oh God, my stomach fails it.
Can you take a deep breath for me? Can you just breathe in? Just remember your training. You'll be fine.
That had to have had some intense plasma level of an intense level to be able to create that charring in that metal. But that would be a sustained charge. Definitely not almost a direct current.
Maybe there's more evidence inside. Do you know how you doing on the door?
Yeah. Give me a second. I'm on it. And Graham, I would have found my way, upon contact, just with my intimate understanding of ships. There should be an access point somewhere approximately here. If I can see through the char, if I can just kind of shut down how overwhelmingly intimidating and minuscule I feel in this moment. The hell am I doing out here?
Yeah, there's an airlock. Now, since we're all saying we're a bit freaked out,
oh God.
Let me introduce you to the changed rules. So in Cosmic Dark, you have a score that shows you how much space has changed you, and it starts at 1. And every time something happens that freaks you out, also something every time you get injured or something happens to your body, I'm going to get you to roll a die, and if it's above your current change score, it will go up. So I think Cozy's freaked out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's do a roll for Cozy. Juno?
Juno's not doing well. Just comparatively, this is no, I'm not doing well. I'll roll.
Okay, I think Juno should roll. And Vika, I mean, you're welcome to roll or not, as you like.
I will roll because I feel like Vika this is a destroyed ship, and Vika is a little curious why they sent a medical officer along with the recovery crew.
So 1 or 2 dice.
1 die, and if it's higher than 1, which is your current change score, then it ticks up by 1, is how it works.
I rolled a 4, so mine ticks up by 1 to 2.
Yep, to 2. Yeah.
Exact same.
Cool. Perry, how do you do?
I got a 4.
Okay.
We all rolled 4s. Wow.
So we're all going up to 2.
In sync.
Wow. You guys are so in sync. This is going to go so well.
I know it's not.
And yeah, Bridgett, there's an airlock. I don't know what you're going to do to open it, but there it is.
I came with tools. I'm prepared. I can get into this. If I can't, everything feels so big. If I can't digitally override it, I can manually cut it open. One of these two things is going to work for me.
Yeah. You can manual would probably work. It's it is a large airlock. It goes into the cargo bay, but yeah, there's a manual override that will open it wide enough so you can get in. Yeah.
Okay, I will get to work on that. Give me a second, guys. Give me a goddamn second. I'll get it open.
So Cozy's going to float closer to the hull and start examining the char because it's a little more focused, so it's to provide him a little more stabilization.
Love it. So, Bridgett, if you want to give me a roll to get into the airlock.
I love it.
And so, yeah. And so what that is it's one die just for being an employee of Extractor. I think I call it the reality die these days. So one die if it's within the bounds of reality.
Okay.
What you're doing, it is. One die if your specialism is in play, and she's a hardware engineer, so it is. And you can add your change die to the roll if you want.
Oh, this is
If
Cosmic
you're pushing
Dark's
yourself.
first time on Symphony. I'm going to include my change roll on this one, mostly just because there's a sense of urgency and fear that is building within my chest. I can actually feel it expanding inside of my chest cavity. I need out of space and into this ship immediately. Graham, congratulations. Reality was a 2. Specialist was a 6. Change was a 6.
All right, fantastic. And so the airlock slides open just enough, and there's just a little thing at the back of your mind as you look into this cargo bay that you've been here before.
No, I haven't.
No, you haven't. But there's something telling you have.
Kosi, Doc, let's go. And I will
All right.
float into the cargo hold, trying to chase down, I guess, that feeling of recognition. See if I can identify it.
Yeah, no, that sounds fantastic. If Juno was freaked out by that, do give me a change roll.
God damn, man. Another,
Cozy,
another 6. Congrats.
Ticks up to 3. Cozy, you examining the hull, weren't you? Should we do that?
Mm-hmm. So I'll take all 3 as well.
Here we go. This is how you play the game.
Whoa!
Okay, so reality is at a 2. That matches.
Mm-hmm.
The second option is at a 6, and this change die is at a 4.
Okay.
So we go with the highest die. So you can unless if your change die is higher, then that prompts you to make a changed roll.
No, my highest one is my my proficiency.
Yeah, cool. So
my field to study.
Right, so that is a 6, and so this ship has been through something unimaginable. It has been crushed. You get the feeling that it's as though it's passed close to a black hole. Or something like that. It's as though some vast force has been inside and kind of just pulled it inwards, has just slightly imploded. In some sense, it's amazing it didn't implode completely.
Wow.
And I think just for a moment, Cozy, you get a sense of what it must have been like, almost like a flashback. Is that a memory of everything pulling and you feeling pulled from the inside, you feeling as though someone had reached into you and crushed you like that?
Oh yeah, it's a memory. Definitely a memory. It was in a trip I went with my father on to examine one of the mining sites. The submersible we were on ran into some problems and we started sinking. And the pressure on the outside of the hull was getting more and more. We had to evacuate, but there was enough time for us to get into one of those pressure chambers. I was probably, maybe 11, and just dealing with that sense of that pressure that was just building on me inside that chamber compared to what was going on outside so that we could escape. It was frightening. I so wanted to throw up. I mean, there were people the others in there were shaking. Some of them were crying in pain as they adjusted the pressure so we could get off the ship.
Yeah, so if that's the memory, if that's when you remember being crushed, why do you have a memory of it being on board a spaceship? And that's not a question you have to answer, Perry. It's just it feels conflicted, like that thing with your father. I don't know.
Vika, given what we saw outside, if there's any crew on here, you're going to need a squeegee.
It's exceptionally reassuring. Graham, can we say that Vika has like some sort of monitoring apparatus that's hooked up to all three of their suits so she can detect like elevated heart rates? It kind of like shows up as a little alert on her little thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I like that. Yeah.
That's sexy.
I'm picturing like an armband situation, like a bracer almost.
Yeah.
So I think that as she's listening to Cozy say this, she might clock a little bit of a ping from him. Are you doing okay, Cozy?
Well, I never expected this when I came out, and this is something's odd here. I mean, this thing is closest thing I can suggest has been by a place of massive gravity, so massive that can change things, can warp things, and if you're not prepared for it, I mean, just think about the structures we lived with back on Lavort to be able to deal with the waves. This is on the cosmic scale. Who knows what got bent? Not just structure of the ship, but fabric of the universe.
Let's have the three of you now drifting into, through the airlock to what is a cargo bay. You can't see it very well. It's actually pitch black in here. And if you're shining a flashlight around, you can see the occasional walkway. You can basically just see a vast space.
All right. Where do we start?
Where's the nearest door to get us inside further?
Listen, give me a handful of seconds. Let me see if I can find if the ship still has power. I can see if I can get us some lights going.
It'd just be great if we could get the artificial gravity going as well.
Yeah, let me get to the box.
All right. So, so tell me a bit about what you're doing, Juno. So you're what are you sort of looking around on the flashlight for where to go or what?
Yeah, so I feel like Juno, just with like the custom hard gear that I would have on my suit, would probably have like the beams of lights that are on my shoulders and my helmet. But I also love the idea of just the control that comes with holding a physical flashlight. So what I'm going to do is withdraw that, and I'm out of whatever the fuck that is. I'm inside of a place that I've been before, but I have not been here before. But what I'm going to do is like stop, breathe. Cable cord should be running ahead or below. Those are the two places that they put them. So let me get eyes on the first bulk of cables that are going to lead me to the next exchange of cables that are going to lead me to the primary box.
And so your flashlight, as you're looking around for a block of cables or a line of cables, your flashlight plays over storage containers, and they're free floating. And Vika, Cozy, you can see these too. You can see these storage containers just floating freely. They have obviously come unmoored. And there's the sacks and things are also floating around as well. And and you do find a line of cables which you can follow. If this is anything like, actually, no, I was going to say if this is anything like the exchange, it's nothing like the exchange. But Bridgett, yeah, you're pretty confident, you know, where where there's a control booth.
Okay, I'm gonna head over to this box and see what I can do. For the time being, we have cargo containers that are in free fall, so grab a wall, get as close to the ground if you can. If I can activate the artificial gravity, everything's going to come down.
Yeah, just give us a heads up before you switch it on.
Yeah, I got it, Doc. Kosi, do you have your shit together?
Yeah. Interesting how these containers aren't crushed. Huh.
Yeah. We're going to talk about your squeegee comment later, and then I'm going to start working my way to the first box that I can get to.
Cozy, Vika, what are you guys doing?
I think that Vika is just checking in with Cozy. She doesn't want to like baby him, you know what I mean? Because he's an adult. He's a grown man. But I think that she's kind of like checking in with him, and then she might be looking for some sort of terminal so that when the power comes back on, she can start trying to go through records to see like where was the ship?
Good
like,
call.
What was the last date? Yeah.
Great. So are you making your way towards a walkway, or are you taking a moment to sort of talk to Cozy?
I'll just I'll you know what? He's fine. He seems fine. I'm gonna go to walkway.
Yeah. No, that sounds good. Okay, Cozy, what are you up to?
I'm floating over towards one of the nearest containers just to start inspecting it and to see if I can, let's say, access its manifest to see what's inside of it. Because if the container managed to hold the pressure, fine, but whatever's inside of it might have also been subject to squeegeeing effect.
Yeah. Yeah, sounds really good. So you are looking at this container, and I won't make you roll. Yes, it has been sort of squashed. It's actually quite hard to do this because because everything's free floating. Things like as you're examining it, one of the sacks kind of comes up and just sits against you for a while, and it's actually quite hard to examine.
It freaks me out. I immediately push away from it. Feels like there's somebody standing behind me, someone watching over what I'm doing. And I feel like for a brief moment I had a flashback to my mother doing that to me.
It's not a sack, Cozy. It's a corpse.
And at which point I scream, and the next moment my helmet is painted with my vomit.
Cozy, oh shit. Juno, if you can get that grab turned on, that'd be great. I think that Vika's gonna make her way over to him.
Okay, Cozy is there. He has vomit on his on his thing, and there's a corpse near him.
Okay, it's just let's get you away from this. She'll start to kind of like help him float away, and she will actively kind of like push the corpse away from them.
Yeah,
we'll deal with that later.
And at which point Cozy's struggling to breathe since he's just aspirated inside his helmet.
Cozy, we're gonna
sorry, Rena.
We'll put it on. We'll put it on the content warnings on the front end with the recording.
Sorry, Rena. It's just like he's doing all of that.
Okay, just deep breaths. We're gonna get this cleaned up. You're fine, Cozy. You're fine. Okay.
It's just sort of motion, trying to get the breath as tries to grab onto whatever's more stable against the wall.
There is a walkway, so if you want to sort of just balance yourself in,
find a position.
Grab onto. I like the idea of you guys kind of grabbing onto the walkway to stabilize yourself. Nic, as you push the corpse away, as you sort of play your flashlight over it, I mean, you recognize this guy. So that this is Pine from engineering.
Have I served on the transparency? Was I reviewing medical records?
Yeah, because that's the point. How do you know that? You've never been here before.
I mean, it must have been the medical records before we came on the ship.
You must just have seen his photograph.
I think that she's kind of pushing that out of her mind. I'm gonna roll my change die because that's freaky as hell.
That's fair.
I did roll a 6, so I'm gonna go up to 3.
That's good. Cozy, did you do your change roll for your vomit episode?
No, I didn't.
Excellent.
So
it generally helps me if please do feel to make change rolls whenever you feel you need to make change rolls. It just saves me saying it.
Okay, so my reality die was a 6. My change roll was a 5. Or did you only want me to roll one of those?
Oh, yeah. So for a change roll, you just
okay. So then my change roll was a 5.
Cool. All right. So your change will tick up. I think it was 2, 3 before.
Now I'm at 3.
Whew,
So
this is
ticks
going
up to 3.
fast.
Yeah. Cool. Great. All right. And I don't want to interrupt that moment anymore. So, so Vika, Cozy, I think you're clinging onto the walkway.
And I think Vika might be doing like taps on Cozy's shoulder. You know what I mean? Just trying to refocus him a little bit, give him a little bit of that bilateral stimulation. All right.
Slowly breathing.
Deep breaths. I know that was probably pretty scary.
It's kind of like that guy who got stuck outside the chamber when I was younger. Sadly, someone had to stay outside to trigger the mechanism before we were able to get off the sub.
I don't know if you've ever told me that story. Maybe
That's why I was away from the library for several weeks, dealing with recovering from the pressure sickness.
Even as you're saying that, Cozy, the memory almost seems to be sort of coming apart in your head. Like you don't remember very strongly being away from the library for several weeks, but you must have been if that had happened. Do you know what I mean? So it just doesn't seem to be quite fitting together. You don't remember getting on the submarine, stuff like that.
Yeah, I just remember the moment. I barely even remember the hospital stay. But I know I was there.
You know, we don't have to stay in that memory. It's okay. You're here now. We're here. Juno's here. I'm here. We've all got each other's backs. All right?
Yeah, and this helmet
okay.
now stinks. Oh God, please, Juno, get the power on so I can get out of this thing.
So if we have
Please.
shared comms just running consistently, almost just like a brook of water beneath this entire conversation, is Juno speaking a language that you know that just slowly started to develop on Lavort with the lower class communities? Just almost it became a dialect and almost just became a language that they just all could speak. And depending on where you were in life or your progress, if you ever picked it up, but she is talking shit about you two across the board. I thought extractive programming was supposed to be able to mitigate situations like this. What happened to his psych evaluation that the AI was supposed to be doing? If he can't come into contact with a single course without freaking out. I mean, but I'm almost operating that you either don't know the language or aren't fluent with it. You might. I don't know. Single line of shit talking about both of you consistently as I'm making my way to the box.
I don't know if Vika speaks the language, but she definitely recognizes the tone.
The tone.
There's a tone.
She's like, I can't make that out, but I know what shit's being said there.
All right.
I don't know what software engineer is making this appropriate. Why do we have an executive kid out here? This is a liability. But no, as I'm working my way through the box if I reach it.
I think because he also knows the tone. He's had to listen to it every night of his life.
Mm. Right. You are coming towards the box, so it's this sort of glass-walled thing that overlooks the cargo bay. It's still very dark in the cargo bay. There is a sort of whirring that you can't quite place, but there you are. You are. This is just you, Juno, hearing it at the moment.
Okay. Let's get past this glass. Let's see what she has left in her.
Mm-hmm. There's a door. You can walk through the door into the, you don't. Yeah, it does.
Perfect. So I'll float, walk, drag myself along the walls to get through the door. I'm talking a lot of shit as I go, but I am moving as quickly as possible.
Cool. So what are we doing? I mean, there are consoles there. What do you want to do?
Okay, so let's see here. One, does the ship have any power at all? Is there anything I can pull from? Any type of cells? Is there anything that I have as far as fuel-wise to activate any of the systems to bring them online?
Yeah, the ship does seem to have power. It's just this area seems to be down.
Okay, so I will say in the comms through our common language that we spoke on, Lavor's like, okay, so, Ship's got juice. It's just down in this area. I'm gonna go ahead and try to bring us back online. You guys got boots on the ground?
Yeah, we're clear of the debris. Do you need any is there something that we should be doing down here?
No, it'd be great if you didn't fall and break a leg. It'd be great if nothing fell on top of you. So if you're clear of debris, boots on the ground, I'm gonna try to bring us back online.
Go for it.
And I will start replacing whatever it is I have to replace at one chip. I will override whatever I have to override. I'll do whatever I need to do to get power back on into this section.
So we're switching on the gravity, are we, in the lights?
Gravity and lights, please.
Yeah, no, that sounds really good. Give me a roll to do it.
Okay. I am not going to risk my change die on this one. This will just be the... Okay. So with a 1 and a 3, I am going to choose to push that with my change die.
If you want. I mean, a 3 will switch on the gravity and lights, as you like.
No, I don't like the way you said it. I don't like nah, I'm gonna push it. I don't like the way you said it. So I'm uncomfortable. I hate everything. Okay. I can get this back online. If I hit this one button, I know for a fact that this should power back on, but there's just that moment, that twinge. There's something in the lizard brain that's like, double check those security protocols one more time. Okay, much better. So the specialist got a 6. And then the change die was a 2.
That's amazing. And you think that's better?
I feel better about it.
Great. Okay, so do I. So
fucking Graham.
So okay.
And Graham games, honey.
the lights come on. It's almost blinding Vika and Cozy, and the gravity begins to start. So the shipping containers begin to descend. The corpses, because the lights have just gone on, and you are in a room with hundreds of corpses floating around this vast space, and they begin to descend as well.
Cozy, can you just do me a favor and just face the wall for a little bit, please? Just until you get your bearings, until you feel a little more stable, okay? Just don't look out into the cargo bay for a bit.
Oh, there's also that face plate full of vomit.
Once we get your faceplate squeegeed off, please just
You can see a little bit, Cozy. And do you actually look at the wall, or do you look at the cargo bay?
Oh, I'll look at the cargo bay.
Okay.
Change.
Whatever happened to doctor's orders, huh? Was it
right? Respect my authority.
That's a 6.
That's great. Actually, for a changed roll, so with normal rolls, a 6 means weird shit happens. For a change roll, it just ticks up by 1. So yeah.
I'm at 4.
Cool. Wow, that's impressive. So, Vika, maybe it's you that notices the door starting to open.
The door to the outside, or
no? So the door to the cargo bay, not the airlock you came in through, but a door from another part of the ship.
Okay. Oh, thanks for the doors, Gina. And I'll just start making my way over there. If walking, if the gravity is on enough, or like moon bouncing.
Gina, you didn't open the doors.
I didn't, and it's funny because I'm sitting here going, I didn't open the doors. I don't say it out loud, but I'm thinking to myself, I didn't open the doors. Hey, and then finally through the comms, Doc, I didn't open the doors.
You didn't open the door to the cargo bay?
Oh God, I whip around very quickly.
And let's just play that out for a moment. I love this. So, Vika, you are drifting, I imagine, towards this door.
Yeah. And it's like I can't. I'm kind of either pushing myself along the wall or kind of pushing myself off of the ground. And when I hear her say that she didn't open the door, there's a kind of a twinge a little bit, but I'm drifting. I can't really I can't stop my forward progress at this point.
No. And there is something silvery beyond the door. And the doors are just opening slightly, and you can hear a whirring sound.
What is that? Do you guys hear that? Still moving towards this door, looking, trying to see if she can make out what the silvery thing is.
I think the silvery thing's going to shoot out a spike at you. So, combat. So,
yay!
I know I don't get to do combat very much. So, Nick, give me a roll to. I don't know what you'd be doing. Are you trying to avoid being shot through with a spike?
Yeah, just for a change of pace, let's try to dodge out of the way of this thing.
Sure. Let's not be accepting of the spike shooting through us. I'm going to roll a die against you to see whether you fail. I think if you do fail, we're going to have Vika impaled with a metal spike.
Is there any way that I'm trying to think of a way to bring my occupation as a doctor as a medical officer into this? Maybe even just like repositioning body to, if I am not able to get fully out of the way, put the like least vital organ part
It's
of
a
me.
stretch, isn't it? I'm
right.
not. Yeah.
No,
Okay, I'm rolling.
That's fair. That's totally fair. I will bring my change die into this. I did get a 5.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay. No, what was that? 4? Okay.
I got a 4.
So if this thing goes shooting past her, I think that she kind of does whatever she can to like push away from it. And you just hear this like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And on a 5, you get an extra little fact. And what you really, you know exactly what this thing is. This is an antibody. It's going around patching up the ship. At the moment, it seems to think that you're something that needs removing from the ship.
Juno, the antibodies are. I think that they have misidentified us. Can you shut them down, please? Can you just deactivate them for a little bit? There's this one that's shooting something at me.
What? I'm not going to question that. That sounds urgent. I'm not going to question that. I'm at the control plant. Is there any way I can isolate any type of code for the antibodies and power them down?
No, they are sort of separate being. I mean, you can think of something else to distract them or something. That's absolutely fine. But you can't just power them down.
So they're not connected to the ship. They're independent. They're like a Roomba.
They are like a Roomba. Yeah, close the door is good.
Okay, so if that thing hasn't breached that entryway, I will, listening to Cozy's advice, I'll try to emergently override and shut that door.
No, it sounds really good. Roll for that. Cozy, what are you doing?
I don't want to roll for it, Graham. I just
I've
want to shut
probably
the door.
taken a moment to trigger the internal squeegee on my helmet as I'm screaming, "Close the door! Close the door!" And holding on, just trying to orient myself to where Vika is, where Juna is, and where this door is.
So describing massive cargo bay is not easy, but in my head there's a door in the cargo bay. Somewhere above it, you are clinging onto a walkway because Vika descended from that walkway. You must be safe. Surely it couldn't shoot out a spike that far. And then
Or are there more than one door?
There are other doors into the cargo bay. Yeah.
I'm scanning around to find them just in case they've opened as well.
They're opening, yeah.
What? Why?
Close all the doors! Close all the doors! Close all the doors! Nothing's opening!
And so is Cozy just sort of clinging to the walkway and shouting? He's not moving or anything. Great!
It's holding still. It's like right now.
Fantastic. Bridgett, what are you doing?
On the roll to manually shut down the doors, babe. I got a 6 on my reality, 4 and a 3 on the change. The change does not increase, but I did get a 6 on the reality.
That's amazing. It would be quite fun if you failed, wouldn't it? So I am going to roll.
King, why do you have to be this person, Graham?
I don't know. I just am. I've got a 2. So we're good. And a 6, right?
Yeah, on the reality one.
Yeah. So you're staring at this thing going, how do you shut the doors? And then it's as though you're in this control booth when you were younger, and someone behind you, that sort of fatherly figure, and this is Pine, the corpse you saw earlier, and he says, closing the doors is that button. And then just as you remember, you go, yeah, it's that button. But you have a strong memory of being here before. You're holding up hands, and I don't know whether that means stop talking, Graham, or I'm thinking.
No, that's me. That's me pantomiming along with me hitting a button that Pine
that
told
was
me. I am so sorry.
Okay. No, it's good.
So
Just doing a little object work.
Little object work. So I'm sitting there and I almost want to be like, I really wish you would have rolled over me on the contested. That would have been fun if the doors didn't close.
Oh, no.
But I'm standing there with my finger on the that final button that would like seal all the doors. Pine? And I think I turn around. That's going to be broadcasted across, all of our comms. And I'm just going to turn around.
Oh, you turn around.
I do.
There's
He was
someone
behind
standing
me.
there. Let's come back to Cozy and Nic. What are you guys? Oh, Nic. I mean, you just had a spike shot towards you.
That's true. I'm gonna roll my my change die. I rolled a 1, so I think that again, like that like survival instinct is kind of overriding any rational thought for just a second. So she's okay. But I will roll if I can hear Juno say Pine over the comms, just because I saw the corpse and was like, well, how do I know this guy? I think that will also freak her out. So I'll roll again.
Oh, good for you. This is
I
the
rolled
way.
a 3, which is whatever my thing is at, so I guess it stays the same.
Yeah, so
Right.
it stays the same. Now, what's Vika going to do? Because she's dodged this spike, but this thing is now coming through. You can see it. It's in some sort of defensive mode. You remember it had the faces and hands of the engineers. They're kind of flowing over it in the flowing metal. These sort of distorted faces and hands. But at the moment, it's in some sort of defensive mode. It's sort of shooting out spikes. What's Vika going to do about that?
Is it possible for me to retrieve the spike that was shot at me, or is that just gone? Is that like too far away?
In my head, that was like a liquid metal spike that shot out and came back. But if you want to grab something, grab something.
Yeah, I would love to. If there's any kind of grippable, like a pipe, some kind of tool, if there's like an arc welder, that would be fantastic. Just whatever's around.
Sure. Let's do the arc welder. That's good.
Great. Yeah, I think she'll pick it up and try to turn it on. I'm realizing that I don't even know how those things work.
That's amazing. Give me a roll to. Are you arc welding the thing?
Yeah, I think that she's basically gonna try to, maybe like go for a leg. She's gonna try to immobilize this thing.
Ooh.
Or if I know where the spike came from, I might try to disrupt that a bit.
No, that sounds good. So in my head, this is a sort of floating thing. So imagine a sort of floating ball of liquid metal shooting out spikes. If you want to do try and disable it or disable a spike, I mean, that's good with me.
Yeah, just try to go across it. Graham, as you give more details, this is getting weirder and weirder. These things. Yeah, so I think she'll just go after it and she'll try to break it.
Give me a roll. I'm going to roll against you. So Juno, there's a woman standing there, and she says, "You need to come with me now."
Are you real?
She's come through some sort of ventilation hatch, a maintenance hatch behind her, which is open.
Thank God. Okay. Okay.
Are you going with her?
No, I can't. I have a crew here. And I'm gonna call out Doc. Lost the name. Sorry, Doc Cozy. I need you to come to me. They're survivors.
Just a little busy right now, but I'll be right there.
Vika, what did you roll to arc weld the antibody?
Can I just ask you a quick question? Do I need to decide if I'm going to push this or not before you tell me what you got?
Oh
no.
Okay. Well, I did get a 3.
Right.
Well.
Okay.
So as things stand, what we're going to have is Vika arc welding this thing, and it will just, it won't go anywhere near it, and it will just start coming towards you and trapping you in a corner.
Cozy will intervene at this point. He's looking for one of the liquid nitrogen lines.
Yeah.
To try and wedge one of those free and shunt liquid nitrogen at the antibody because, well, it hopefully stops material science. Hopefully it can basically freeze it in place temporarily because that's right now one of the lowest things I know of that can stop molecular motion.
I love this. Yes, there's liquid nitrogen because you have to keep things cool down here. Yes, let's do this. Give me a roll to Vika. I know you're about to do something else, but this is fun.
No.
Do you mind if we go with this?
Oh, absolutely.
How many dice?
It's within the bounds of reality. Yes, it's materials science, and you can add your change die if you want to.
Okay.
Oh, here we go.
Come on, Cozy. You got this.
Okay, so change die is a 1.
Thank goodness.
Reality is a 2, and proficiency is a 2. Reality is a 3.
What was the highest?
3, which was
3.
the reality die.
Cool. I'm rolling. Oh my god, guys!
Well,
you just take those dice and just kind of just yeet.
You
straight
don't
out
like
the
these
window.
dice. Yeah,
No,
I can use another one. No, I think that I think you try and hit it, and it can't make any difference from that. If you got closer, you might be good. But as things stand, I think we're going to have Vika trapped in a corner with this thing coming for her.
Graham, do I know anything about these things? Is there any kind of anything that I would know about how to make myself not seem like a threat, or where's the off switch or things like that?
Oh, I mean, do you want to? Well, you had a little bit of a flash of memory of being on this ship, right? You could try and think back.
Yeah, let's do that.
Sure. Yeah, let's explore that memory. So yeah, give me a roll to think back.
Oh God.
Okay. I'm bringing my change die into this. Okay, I did get a 4, higher than my change.
Yeah. Okay. That's good. And so yeah, you have a memory of being in this cargo bay before, and maybe you were, I don't know what you were doing. You were stealing, maybe you're hiding here.
Yeah, hiding out someplace that wasn't visible or accessible by the antibodies.
And you can remember one of these things coming towards you. It wasn't looking as sort of spiky and angry as it was now, and how you got out of it was you slipped into a maintenance hatch. You found one. It was right there. Not too far from where you are now.
Oh, thank goodness.
I think that over the comm she'll be like, Kosi, get to a maintenance hatch, and then she'll start making her way towards the one that's close to her.
And that's good. And let's not roll for that, because you had a roll, so that's great. I mean, so you will make it to this maintenance hatch. The thing will move towards you at speed. It will shoot out a spike, and which will go right through one of the shipping containers near you, but it's going to miss, and so you're going to get into the maintenance hatch.
All right. So
and then I think it's going to turn your attention to you, Cozy. Sorry, Vika.
Oh no, thank you.
He's like, whew, I made it through this one.
Okay, so I'm still holding onto the liquid nitrogen line, trying to spray it out in front of me as she says, get to the maintenance hatch. Like, okay, I'm just trying to judge where it is because it's as far away from me as possible. I'm quickly scanning around to find the nearest maintenance hatch to where I am.
Okay, cool. I love the idea. So the gravity's coming on now as well, right? And so I think things are sort of really starting to fall quite quickly now. So the shipping containers which were floating are sort of beginning to sort of you see one crash through a walkway. Yeah, give me a roll to get to a maintenance hatch.
Okay, so that's the reality, not my efficiency. Change?
Yeah,
or no
reality.
Change?
If you want to push it, it's up to you.
Well, I'm already at 4, so.
Oh man,
you got to lose.
Yep. Well, my change was at a 4, so it matches.
Cool.
And my reality was at a 1.
I see what you mean. So you got a 4. Now, look, I don't know what is going. I am going to stop using this dice.
Wow.
I think you failed to get the maintenance hatch. You can talk me through this, or I can talk you through it. I don't mind.
I will start scrambling towards the nearest hatch and letting go of the liquid nitrogen line as one of those storage containers not necessarily falls straight through. It wedges right in the pathway. So it's a
Mm.
very narrow space for me to have to try and get through. And the suit's going to stop me
Yeah.
Oh, the suit's going to stop you. I love
Oh,
because
I
it's
love
bulkier
that.
than the opening. I'm gonna assume we've got some degree of atmosphere, and I will pop the suit to get out of as much as I can to try and squeeze through the opening.
Lovely. That sounds absolutely great. And so we're going to have the antibody sort of bristling with spikes coming towards you. It will. It's going to shoot out a spike, which is going to tear apart that shipping container near you.
Mm.
And I mean, Perry, make a roll to get to slip out of the suit and escape. And I think we've got to say that if you fail this, Cozy's going to die.
Yeah.
That's a 2
Okay.
on the reality dice.
Push it.
Oh, you can't really see this one. That's a 1. I rolled a 1.
Oh,
Yeah. So talk me through it. What happens?
I'm scrambling, pop the helmet off as quick as I can, and I'm literally just throwing it at the thing as I'm struggling to try and hit the chest release units so that it pops open, and I'm literally having to release them just near the opening. As it does so, I am trying to crawl through as the storage unit is exploding around me. So there's debris and metal also filling this space as well. So I'm probably getting cut up and scarred as I managed to just get through to the other side and scramble for the hatch. And I'm already dripping with blood just in the under unit of the or a long john suit of the space space suit.
Love it. Love it. That's fantastic. And so, Vika, Cozy, both of you find yourself scrambling into these maintenance hatches. And you can't quite remember how you get there for a moment. There are, Vika, a metal spike does shoot down the maintenance hatch, but misses you. And you will all scramble along. So Juno, you are following this woman. And I think we should take 5 minutes there.
We're ready.
And here we are. And here you guys are. You go through these maintenance ducts, and you find yourself in a little storage room. And so this woman with a shaved head, muscular woman, emerges from this maintenance hatch and starts busying herself at one of the workbenches. I want you to imagine this is like a storage room in the middle of the maintenance ducts. So there are shelves with tools on. There's sort of wires and things hanging up on the walls. Although it's been made into someone's home. Basically, it seems to be where these guys are staying. So there's a sort of there's a heater which has been repurposed as a thing to cook with. And so we have the muscular woman with the shaved head, and she says, "Okay, I'm glad you're safe. Make yourself useful." And you can see across the other side of the room, there is a woman with graying hair who is heating up cans of something, and there is a man who is putting on a backpack and sort of taking lengths of rope.
One, ma'am. Thank you. You saved our lives. 2, what the fuck is going on with your antibodies?
They think that we're a threat. They think you're a threat.
Yeah, but why? Why is that the situation? What happened with their programming? When did that start?
And she looks at you and goes, when did it start? And do you want to roll if you're asking her for information?
Absolutely, because what the fuck is going on with the antibodies?
Sure.
Reality and specialty feel good for a hardware engineer, or do you just want me to do reality?
I'm
only?
not seeing hardware engineer, so
Okay.
just reality unless you want to add your change die.
No,
Yeah.
you're good. So this is just interpersonal. So we'll just roll 4.
Okay, full. And she says, all right, you want to talk about this? Come and sit down. And she will, you'll go and sit, if this is all right with you, you'll go and sit at a bench. The woman with the heating up the cans will put something in front of you. And she goes, honestly, my memory is quite fragmented. We started our journey, this ship, going to a planet, and then something happened. We flew close to that thing in space, the gold. And then I can't quite remember. My memory gets hazy. Until then, the antibodies were fine, but then something happened, and there was crushing and tearing, and people were thrown around, and that's when everything started. And I tell you what, Juno, we can go further with that, but I just want to cut to the others and just see what they're doing. So what are you guys doing? Vika.
Well, I've come out covered in blood and such. From the escaping. Yeah.
Someone's going to wave you across. The guy with his rope and his backpack said, come. And he will start sort of mopping up the blood.
All right.
I feel like I'm still crawling through a hatch, maybe. Unless
okay,
somewhere.
You can now emerge into the storage room.
Yeah, and just kind of like taking in the scene and just looking for familiar faces. So Juno and Cozy, just trying to be like, what the hey guys, what the fuck is going on?
I'm talking with I'm sorry, what is your name?
I'm Backworth.
Backworth here. They were here on the Transparency. They were heading to a planet. They got too close to the glitch. Memory fragmentation, but something at the point where they either, I don't know. I'm trying to piece it together now. You actually might be more help. You're better with people and you know the brain stuff.
Okay.
Dr. Vika, this is, give me the name again. Bladsworth?
Backworth.
Backworth. This is our team doctor. Vika Backworth.
Hi. You worked on the ship?
We all lived on the ship.
Crew or passengers?
It was all the same on this ship. We all worked.
Where is your captain?
I don't know if the exchange has a captain.
Okay, fair enough.
It has an artificial intelligence that runs the ship.
Yeah.
Would there be like a hierarchy? Yeah. Would there be like someone who was maybe not the captain of the ship, but kind of like ostensibly in charge of stuff?
There were the executives, so there's like a corporate level. Yeah.
Great. Were there any execs on your ship? Who's in charge? Who's in charge of who's left?
The whole executive level. We haven't really been up there.
Oh.
We have to get through the doors.
We've
just been staying alive. And Juno, at this point, the woman with the greying hair is just going to put a bowl of soup in front of you. And you as well, Vika, I think.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Mm.
To be honest with you, soup would be so grounding right now.
Mm.
My nervous system is activated to all hell, but just between the vastness of space and the condition of the ship, and an antibody shouldn't be able to attack humans, just to sit around a table right now and eat, even though I don't have an appetite, is 100% something I'm going to just kind of like grasp onto in this moment.
Oh, amazing. So Juno's sort of eating away while...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably standing and eating. That's probably going to be like, sit down, have the conversation. Oh, soup is here, and that nervous energy is still there. So I'll stand up with my bowl, like hit the side of a wall and start slurping out of whatever, like makeshift flatware, silverware bowls they're able to put together.
Yeah.
Periodically, you'll hear a yipe from Cozy as bits of metal are pulled out of my skin.
Oh shit, Cozy.
No shit, Cozy.
I think Vika will, when she's offered the bowl, she'll say, I've had rations earlier today. There's probably someone else who could use this more than me. And then she'll remember if she hears a yip from Cozy. And then rush over to him. Jesus, Cozy. Let me see. Start to tend to him.
Yeah. No, that's So he's injured, but you can clean him up. Juno, this soup is very comforting. It reminds you of home.
Take that for what it's worth.
It reminds you of your childhood, and you have strong memories of eating this soup here on this ship in the living quarters.
I stop, like right as the spoon was going in for another helping, and I look inside of this bowl. I think there's just tying it in with the way you teed up. There's that slight reflective surface. It's not really there. It's in the pockets between, whatever the ingredients are in the soup, where I'm like looking at myself as a child, looking into the same bowl of soup. And I stop, I look up, and I look back down. The fuck is going on in this ship? I feel like I've had this soup before.
The woman with the grey hair says, "You probably have."
No, there's no way I could have, because we put together whatever we could on stews and soups like this. This has a very specific flavor profile that matches the goddamn artificial greens that we grew back on Levert. There's no way I could have had this. There's no way you could have the ingredients to make. And then I'm going to roll a change.
When you say Levort, it just takes you a moment to remember the word.
Oh, shit.
By the way, go on.
No. It's just Bridgett and Juno freaking out. My change did go up by 1. I'm sitting on a 4.
Ooh, wow. Cool.
Yeah, good times had by all.
If Juno's... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I just wanted to take a moment to Bridgett saying, "Oh, soup will be really grounding right now." I was like, have you played my games?
Callbacks.
No. Not here. Not in this house.
You don't even get a bowl of soup. Go sit down and enjoy your trauma. Okay.
If Juno's heart is spiking, if she's reactivating, I think that will
For
also
sure.
blip. Juno, what's going on?
Something that can't be going on, and what I'm going to do is very disrespectfully empty this bowl into whatever their trash receptacle is, whether this is a sink or a bathing, whatever it is. The soup is getting deliberately turned over, and I'm going to look directly at the doc. It's like, hey, so do you remember the herbs that they grew on tier 9 on the horizon? As I'm pouring this down, the horizon tower.
A little kind of like confused by this action of like, this is a gift. What are you doing? Yeah, I remember the herbs.
Yeah. Remember the profile they had, the bitterness that came with the that aftertaste of sweet.
Yeah, I remember.
Almost just instinctively with the new change loss, I licked the spoon and I fling that into the sink too. It's like, soup tastes just like that. No, don't Juno me. I'm telling you, this shit tastes just like home. It tastes just like fuck, what's our home planet?
It's Lavort. It's Lavort. What do you?
Vika, I think you should roll to say that. I'm going to roll the failure die against you.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, I like that.
Got a 4.
I've also got a 4. So so let's do a little bit of a tie on that. So well, it's going to take you like a long time to be able to say this word. So let's just see a bit of that now.
Yeah. And I think that she's like, she's rationalizing this. She's like, oh man, it's just like it's my mind. There's a lot going on. Cozy and Juno and I,
where we just leave, Vika.
It's where we know where we're from, Juno. It's on the tip of my tongue.
Then say the name, Vic. Say it. Cozy, can you remember?
It's Lavort. It's Lavort. Lavort. That's where we're from. We're from Lavort. It was just, there's just a lot going on.
Cozy, can we come over to you? Because we haven't done much with you for a moment. So what's going on with Cozy at the moment?
Well, between the pain of having pieces of metal pulled out of me, I've been listening to this conversation going on and thinking back to what I said when we were coming in about it being exposed to odd time and so forth, that crushing energy. But as I listened to this struggle about the trying to say the name of the planet, I think I'm having a memory of something from the library. It was either the Iliad or the Odyssey, the Isle of the Lotus Eaters. Forgetting. Hey, I'm not an astrophysicist, but whatever the glitch is, whatever did the damage to the ship, it's clearly playing effect on the memories.
We didn't go to the glitch, though, Cozy.
No,
we left
we
planet side and we came straight here. Do you think it's atmospheric? Whatever the forgetfulness is what, hanging on the walls? Is it? What?
Did you scan for radiation?
I flip over and I look at the dock.
Yeah, I'll see what I can do. What do you have on the ship in terms of equipment that's functional at this point?
And the man who's putting on backpacks and taking rope, he says, "Come with us and find out." We've got rope. We're going to get supplies at the moment. What do you need?
Any scanning equipment, any of the medical equipment that you might have access to a terminal would be wonderful.
So the terminals, there's more of that on the corporate level.
Okay. And is there something, I'm assuming, keeping you from, is the door stuck? Is there no way, is the hatch inaccessible? What's preventing anyone from going up there?
The antibodies.
Of course. Cozy, you know most about these things. Is there no failsafe? There's no way to shut these things down?
No, I think you mean to ask that question to Juno. Remember, material science.
Oh, don't worry. We might be forgetting that too.
I'm so sorry, Juno. I'm so sorry.
It's fine. I'm impressed you remember my name right now. No, they're independent entities right now. I can't. They're not tied to the ship. I can't communicate. If I can get to maybe one of them, I might be able to communicate with the interior connected with. But that will require getting one put down. Graham, just to clarify before I say this out loud, from what I understand about antibody buildup, I hate that I'm about to say this out loud. What I remember of antibody programming. What's their primary priority? Protect the ship, do repairs?
They repair the ship. At the moment, they seem to be repairing the ship by, getting rid of foreign bodies like you.
Is there, and this is Bridgett not knowing the sci-fi world and Bridgett not quite understanding, so I'm going to phrase the question the best I can, and hopefully you can meet me halfway. No. Can I do, in my head, not a triage, but a prioritization lift where I feel like if I did this to the ship, that would be a higher threat than a foreign body, and I could distract the antibodies and get them to go focus on that versus me.
Oh my God, I absolutely love that. What could you do to the ship that was so bad?
That wouldn't directly compromise us. It could, but these antibodies are functioning. They should be able to fix it. What could I do to make them go there and go, oh, okay, yes, there are foreign bodies here, but the threat level of this catastrophe, this incident is higher than a foreign body. I have to focus on that.
Oh, what? So you could slip
breach.
past them?
Yeah. So yeah, a whole breach, but I also don't want us to get sucked out. What's below that? That's what I'm looking for right now. Bridgett doesn't know sci-fi well enough to articulate that, but my character is going,
issues in the power core.
Fire issues in the power core. What could I do for them to go foreign body or this threat? I have to focus on this one first.
Well, you know, Bridgett, a whole breach isn't as bad as it sounds.
You sure?
Because, there's different layers to the hull. So if you did manage to, punch some sort of hole in there, that they would patch it up. It will be fun.
I don't even like the way you teed that back up to me. I don't like the way you and Perry are working together right now.
I don't think we've said hull breach. I don't think we can back off and go,
oh no, we're here.
What's a lower level? Maybe a vacuum cleaner can break. I don't think we should do that. I think we should do hull breach now we've said it.
We have found our tier. Okay, so Doc, the emergency response prioritization of these antibodies are going to be protect the ship, and then and then I'm going to riddle off some weird, security protocols. This is da-da-da-da-da. If somehow they have been reprogrammed to see us as a foreign body, they're going to try to eradicate it, right? The only thing that I can think of that would redirect their focus is a whole breach.
Wow, okay.
I know how it sounds, but if we could minimally breach the whole, do you guys remember how many antibodies were staffed on this ship?
There are hundreds of them.
They're going to go all hands on deck to that particular problem. That would buy us time to hopefully move about uninterrupted.
And let's have the other survivors standing around you at the moment. And Dipesh, the man with the rope, will go, that would work. And you might be able to get through to the corporate level.
So
Are the maintenance hatches sealable?
Talk me through where you're going with that, Perry.
I want to know too. I'm excited.
If we could trigger, I'm remembering one of the novels I read in the library. It was 22nd century, early ship travel. If we could trigger the doors to open between the main hallways, but not the maintenance shafts, we can still move around with the maintenance shafts. If the main cargo bay door was opened and jammed, it's going to start pulling the atmosphere out. Every single one of those antibodies has got to try and get the cargo doors to close, or at least seal the breach between the cargo doors and the main interior.
So, Bridgett, we've actually got a handout. So, should we do the handout of the transparency at the moment? So,
yes,
let's look at a map.
All right, coming at you. Stream, I got this as large as I could for you guys. You guys can see it okay-ish. Cast has individual handouts with it as well. I'm going to see if I can make this a little bit bigger for us. So.
Fantastic. This map was by a guy called Lazarus, by the way, who I've been working with, and he's been really great. So I just want to give him a shout out.
Rising tide lifts all ships. Well done, Lazarus. Okay, so we're on the cargo level right now. The maintenance level looks like it's above us, living, corporate, and then control level at the top.
Oh yeah. This is small, isn't it? So there are maintenance ducts that underlie the living level. Then there's the corporate level, and then if you want to get to the computer, and if you want to carry out your mission, which was to get the computer core, you'd need to go right up to the top. So at the moment you're on that maintenance level, second from bottom. Perry, I love your idea about crawling around in the maintenance shaft. The only thing is I actually do want you to go through the other things.
Yeah.
There isn't a way to sort of just crawl right up to the top of the ship through the maintenance shafts. You will at some point have to sort of go out into the living level,
or at least enough that we can get them to go by us and we come out behind them.
Yeah, exactly. So at some point you have to emerge. Yeah.
But sealing off we could, to your idea, Cozy, that we could seal off the cargo bay from the rest of the ship, couldn't we?
You could do that.
To open those doors.
Yeah. Either way, we need to create a space where they're corralled.
Yeah.
This is one of the the techniques they used to get some of the fish and aquatic life in the early days on the roll to see if I remember our world. That's a 4, which matches Lavort. In the early days when they were building everything, the sea life was plentiful. So they used to use these methods with the netting to get the sea life that we used to eat long time ago.
So Dipesh, guy with the rope, says, look, I'm going on a salvage raid now. I think you guys should come with me, and if you guys have got ideas, you should try them on the way. I think you'll be useful. I think you should come.
Well, do you have a change of clothes?
They will have like a jumpsuit or something they can give you.
Okay.
I'll slip into that.
Let's see what we can do.
What are you looking to salvage? And I mean, just any materials or something specific?
Food. There's a look of sadness comes across his face, actually, and he says, food, fuel, and then back with looks, and as though sort of saying something he wasn't saying, says his daughter went to the corporate level.
Oh
shit!
And I'm sorry. Just kind of like picking up on a vibe, not wanting to actually say explicitly like what. I'm so sorry. It just occurs to me, Juno, Cozy, we could just take them back to the exchange. We can just evacuate these people. They don't have to stay here.
Oh my God. As if like pure brilliance. There's a reason why I admire that character. Why haven't we called back to the exchange? That was like the last thing. Let's port group cons. We're going to ping the exchange. Exchange, come by. Come back.
The exchange left when we dropped us off.
That was what, an hour
ago?
The
exchange
2 hours ago?
Left you and got. You can try and ping the exchange if you like. The exchange has left you and will be back for you in 24 hours. It's probably dropping some other people off at the moment.
Let's ping them. They might have some insight.
We'll just tell them it's an emergency, that there were survivors here that we didn't expect, and they can postpone whatever mission they're on for a bit.
I'm sure they'll totally do that.
They're going to be hella helpful. We're going to ask them how to deal with the antibodies too.
They'll solve the whole problem. It'd be great.
It will.
Yeah.
Juno, what have you got to report?
We have an emergency situation on ship designation transparency. The antibodies are malfunctioning. They are attacking what survivors, hundreds, possible thousands dead. Request emergency extraction.
And how's your mission going, Juno? What have you salvaged so far?
Exchange, did you hear anything I just said?
Yes, it's recorded.
Am I talking to a human or a goddamn bot?
You're talking to the exchange.
Graham, go back to bed. Exchange, I repeat, requesting emergency extraction. We have a situation on board the Transparency. I repeat, the antibodies are attacking humans. Multiple casualties.
That message has been noted and prioritized.
Mission is severely compromised. Exchange. What the fuck do you expect us to do right now?
Your mission is to salvage as much as you can from the deserted ship you're on, and salvage the computer core, which will be in the server room.
Any recommendations, Exchange, on dealing with hostile antibodies?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand that. Would you like me to repeat the mission?
I terminate the phone call. I'm 100% gonna roll a change die too.
Cool.
I'm assuming we all heard that over.
Damn it. I rolled a 6. My change is up to 5. This might be a short half for me, guys.
Ooh, that's interesting. Excellent. All right, let's do something because we're doing a lot of talking. Now, there is the sort of, we can go and explore the living levels with a salvage mission, or you guys can do something else. But let's move. Let's do something.
Let's go.
I think after hearing all that, Vic is like, okay. I mean, look, extracts as a business. I think the best thing that we can do is just get that computer core, which they seem pretty intent on, and then that can be the reason for them to come back. The sooner we can do that, the sooner we can get everybody off of here. Okay?
Yeah.
I know this isn't ideal. I know this is not great, but let's do the mission and get the fuck out of here.
I'll grab whatever supplies I can as if they're my supplies, even though they're not. And I'll be following. Give me that name again. What?
This is Dipesh.
Dipesh.
Yeah.
All right.
Cozy, you okay? You okay to come with us?
I'm assuming I heard the exchange that with the exchange,
Mm-hmm.
and I can't help but running through the various stories I remember reading in the library. And what do I remember about, their pitch ad for Extracta?
Their pitch ad for Extracta?
Yeah, what have they said about how their company's run and structured in comparison to some of the stories I remember reading in the library? Because this is pinging so much off of, I just got to get this sense of artificial intelligence. I mean, obviously there's the classic stories of the artificial intelligence going rogue and killing all of humanity. There was gobs of that in the library, but there were some other ones about artificial intelligence prioritizing artificial intelligence.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the stories you've heard is that, artificial intelligence, flying a spaceship is very complex, right? So you want an artificial intelligence to do that. And they're given metrics to make sure all the humans are safe while defending Extracta's interests. If you wanted to explore more about the metrics keeping Extracta going, there is the corporate level and there are records there.
Okay.
I know this because I've got things to tell you.
And I probably also pinging off of what he remembers watching his parents is like, we need to definitely get to the corporate level.
Let's go.
I think if there's any chance of us getting out of here, it's going to be on the corporate level.
Okay.
Let's go.
And you guys can do what you want. But for the moment, let's have you, and I want you, I love that idea, Perry, of you kind of peering out of maintenance shaft. So you'll be peering out onto the living level, sort of the living quarters. These have been crushed to the extent that the floors are sometimes at angles. So if you walked across them, you'd need to sort of scramble up them a bit. You can hear the whirring sound of the antibodies, but not nearby. And you'd need to cut across this level if you're going to make your way upwards.
Just to clarify, we do hear the whirling of the antibodies on this level. They're just not in sight.
Yeah, you can hear a distant whirring.
Do you know anything about how the antibodies are able to perceive their environment? Is there anything that we could be doing to help camouflage ourselves? I don't understand how these things work.
That's actually a great question. I've got the distract down, and I have some type of torch cutter or something. I'm getting ready to tear through a line of pipe so I can disrupt this and then run, and hopefully the antibodies on this level will go focus on that. But right before I start cutting into something, I think, is there a camo for this type of option? Do they read by heat, by sight, by sound? How do they perceive?
That's amazing. Please do give me a roll. Who wants to roll?
Thanks, Nick.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thanks, Nick. I'll roll it. The hardware engineer, I'll roll it. I'll absolutely roll it. 6'4".
A 6, right? So you remember how the pods on board the exchange, they sort of monitor your various signals and so on. You think this is how the antibodies sense you as well. So they can hear your heart at some level. They can sort of detect that. They can detect sort of brain activity. And you got a 6. Instinctively that they're coming for you because you remember life outside the transparency, and there is a way to stop the antibodies coming for you. You could just start erasing some memories.
Yeah, Doc, so they can perceive like we do, but on a much more sensitive level. They could pick up on brain waves, they could pick up on heartbeats, and they're targeting us specifically. They're targeting us because we remember a life outside of transparency. We can camo if we forget. We can camo if we forget. We can camo if we forget. And then I am unfortunately going to be hyper focused on that haunting thought. We can camo if we forget.
And Nick, I mean, this is a standard thing in cosmic dart things, but the medical officer will always have memory anesthetic. You can erase memories. It's a way of sort of erasing pain as well. Not particularly. Go on.
Oh, how selective is that? Like how
well are you going to roll?
I see. Can I try
No.
something? Okay, this is actually pretty fun though. Okay, I do have a backup idea. Okay, well, I mean, I have the memory anesthetic. We can try if that's what you want.
No, that's not what I want, fucking Doc. I don't want to forget, but to your point, camo is camo. It's forgetfulness or death.
Juno, we're on the same side here.
Yeah,
please.
I know.
Okay, well. Oh, Graham, I want to lean into this memory erasure, and then also I had a fun idea, but okay.
Oh, come on! I
All
want you to have your cake and eat it too. Let's go.
Okay. Just before, I think that like there might be something kind of holding her back a little bit about the memory stuff. She knows what she like. Maybe she's uncomfortable with her skill at it or her proficiency with it. Is there any way because the thing is like, so the sensors that are transmitting to Vika's thing are like outputting something. Is there any way to hack them so that they're kind of like putting out like basically like a canceling function against the signals, like our brain waves and our heartbeat, you know what I mean?
Oh, so that it sort of makes you invisible for a while. Let's do this. I mean, I think we've sort of danced quite a lot around. Can you be invisible to the antibodies for a while? Yes. Give me a roll to cancel yourself out from the antibodies.
I'm gonna roll 3 for this one.
This is the way. Come on, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I got a 4 on both my changed and my profession.
Fantastic. You think you have done it, and Dipesh, who is with you, goes. Do you think they can't see you now? Should we go out there?
Only one way to find out.
Okay.
Juno, Kosi, I won't ask you to blindly put your faith in my skills. So if you want to wait here for a moment, I can go see what's up. But just in case, and I think that she'll hand over she'll hand it over actually to Kosi, the memory anesthetic. Take this just in case.
Can't give this to me.
I'm sorry, buddy. You got
No. If we get up to the corporate level, I need those memories to get us into the stuff.
Okay, well, then let's hope this works. Should we go?
Yeah.
Let's start with you, Vika. So, whatever you've done, by the way, you're not sure it'll work forever. They'll probably figure it out eventually, but you can hear whirring, but it doesn't seem close. Maybe you could emerge onto the living level and maybe you'd be okay.
I think Vika is going to she's got to see, so she's just going to step out. She's going to go out there and just kind of like
Okay.
stand in a hallway.
There you are. You're standing in this living level. It's slightly sloped. It feels very familiar to you. And you can see an antibody in its silvery body drifting past. Maybe it just didn't notice you, or maybe it actually can't see you.
Okay, guys, I think we're okay. Just come out slowly.
Okay.
We head out.
And if there's some sort of power restored, I think that Vika might start steering them towards the travelators.
Yeah.
Which
So
is
the
a word
ones
on
that-
this map.
The ones that go up towards the corporate level.
Yeah, if there is power, yeah. Because
No,
at the
that's-
very least they could like climb up the travelator shaft or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
No, that sounds really good. So at the moment you're in this sort of general living. This is where you'd learn stuff. So there's sort of training areas and communal eating areas. There's also the sleeping quarters. So you'd need to pass through those, and then you get to the sort of travelators.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. Cool. And Juno, as you walk, there's a voice in your ear that goes, "Hello, Juno. Welcome home."
I abruptly stop. I look around. I look to my teammates to see if they caught that over their comms as well, because it couldn't have been in my head. It would have been in the comms.
What is it?
I don't know what the effects of this glitch are, or the radiation or whatever the fuck, but I can hear something talking to me.
Maybe you're imagining it, Juno.
Point of order. Is that what the voice said, or is that what Graham is saying?
This is Graham saying.
I could be imagining it. But just in case.
And so you're walking through this living area. You can see the antibodies drifting quite close to you. Actually, I love the idea that at this point, one of them starts coming down a corridor straight towards you. Maybe it can't see you.
Get out of the way. Just very, very slowly. Just. I think that Vika is like, if they're in the living quarters, maybe like climbing into one of the like the bed situations, the bunk situations. Yeah. Just trying to get out of the way.
Oh, are you going into the sleeping quarters then?
Oh, sorry. I thought that's where we were.
Oh no, I'm absolutely happy for you to go into the sleeping quarters, so you can sort of retreat into one of those.
Just trying to duck out of the path of this thing that's coming directly at us.
Yeah, and you do, and it drifts past you and doesn't seem to detect you as it usually would, and then just moves on. Nick, these sleeping quarters, I mean, there's something very comforting and familiar about them.
Well, I mean, every ship has them. So, I think that you can't help but kind of like look around. Like, just again, it's that this seems familiar, but like, how familiar is this? Like,
yeah,
just similar, or do I know this place? And if there's any like names or anything like on the like the bunks or on the like the belongings or anything, just kind of like scanning names.
So it's not that there's names, and there aren't any names and things written there, but it's just that when you see the little bunk, you remember climbing down from that every morning. And when you see the little desk, you remember how hard you studied at that desk. Now, was it these quarters? Quarters somewhere else in the ship? But all this seems very, very familiar. Juno, you get a voice in here in your ear saying, "You remember this, don't you?"
I'm going to quickly roll my change die before I
Go
respond.
ahead. Yeah.
Y'all know I'm at 5 right now.
Mm-hmm.
I rolled a 2.
All right. So if you roll a 6 at any point, the game will be over for Juno. Okay.
So, question of the day here, because I know rules kind of are comparative to Cthulhu Dark. Aside from the memory anesthetic, what options do I have for rolling that number down?
Oh, you can. Memory anesthetic is good. You can. The rules are that if you want to reduce your change score, you have to just remove the change that's happened to you. So in that case, yeah, a little like brain surgery would be great. Drugs to remove things, that's all fine. Anything like that.
That's what I get for
Or
asking that
just
question.
maybe destroying the sleeping quarters so the antibodies have something to focus on.
Right now we're camoed. I think we're okay until the camo doesn't hold. Who is talking to me? Who are you? What are you?
This is Diana, Juno. And Juno, you know that Diana is the ship's computer.
Is anyone else hearing Diana right now? Is that just me? Is this just me? This is in character. Is this just me?
Who's Diana?
Who's Diana?
Oh God, Jesus. Standard operating procedures, guys. The ship's core, the ship's computer, the Diana. And I very quickly just like, these ships with these qualifications have a Diana. These ships with these qualifications have an Esther. These ships with these qualifications have a... No, nobody took that class. The ship's computer is talking to me or I'm going insane.
Okay. Is it giving you any useful information?
No, I think it's just establishing contact. Diana, what's the situation?
You're home, Juno. That's the situation.
She's saying I'm home. And just so I'm not eating up bandwidth time, until noted anyways, anything Diana says, I will articulate to the table.
I mean, the ship's been through a lot. The antibodies are malfunctioning. Maybe the computer is too. Maybe it's confusing you with someone else.
Oh, that's an interesting tactic. Diana confirm my identity. Let's see what Diana knows about me.
You're Juno. You grew up here on the Transparency. In your childhood, you took the fall for another girl at school. She committed a crime. And you said you did it. And she was never grateful, was she?
My eyes begin to well up. I was feeling real good about things when Diana says that I grew up on the Transparency, because I didn't.
Although you say that, Juno, and are you sure? I mean, wouldn't it be nice if you had? Instead of on that shitty planet where you vaguely remember growing up?
What are the chances I'm looking at Kosi and Vic? What are the chances that we're home? What are the chances that the Transparency are home?
Wait, didn't you say that these things are targeting us because we remember life outside of the Transparency?
Yeah, that's what I said, Vic. I'm not saying I was right, but that is what I said. Are you guys feeling it too? This place feels like home? It couldn't have been just me with the
No.
goddamn soup.
No,
I-
I'm not.
I am. I remember this bed, and I remember this desk, and I remember Pine.
Fucking Pine.
I mean, look, the the memory anesthetic is really good. That's good stuff. But they do have to sometimes replace those memories with something.
You mean like the fact that you were the girl that she took the fall for?
What are you talking about?
That's Perry, not Cozy. So just
Oh,
That could be interesting and sexy. On so many different levels. The student that tries so hard to make sure that she aced all her tests actually stole the test scores. But that's a whole different whatever.
no,
No.
it's cool. It's cool. It will be a great story. We can see if it ends up.
We can see if it fits
really
later.
cool.
Yeah.
But Cozy, isn't there something for you that you look around this place and your childhood was not good on Lavort, was it?
no, it wasn't.
No. I mean, wouldn't it be good if this childhood on the Transparency had been real?
Now the question is, would it have meant that I had different parents on the Transparency?
Mm.
Or did I have the same parents on the Transparency? If they were both executives.
Right. And there is a feeling of familiarity for you in these living quarters as well, Cozy. Just a feeling that there was a room nearby. But anyway, you guys are at the moment you are in this this sort of random room. What are you doing? Where are you going?
I think Vika has an increased sense of urgency, and so she's encouraging them. We should just get up to the server room. We should just get this core, and we need to get the hell out of here. Okay?
Yeah. Whatever you say, Vic.
Cozy, you with us?
Let's get this over with.
Yeah. Okay, let's go.
You continue walking through the sleeping quarters, and I think now there's a bit of a sense when the antibodies are passing you, as though for a moment they're veering in your direction, and then they veer away. But the travelators are there and they're working. And are you guys going up?
Yeah.
I'm assuming that for the corporate level, or like maybe even the corporate and the control levels, like there's some sort of like, we don't just want anybody walking around up here. So it's like there's some sort of security measure or something.
I'll punch in my mother's access code.
Oh, I really, really love that. You'll go up to the travelators and yeah, there will be these sort of large security doors blocking your way forward. And yeah, please do punch in your mother's access code. I absolutely love that.
Holy
So I
shit.
think that's going to be reality
Give me a
and
roll.
change.
Yeah.
The change was a 2, the reality was a 3.
And I'm not rolling against you. I don't want this to fail. So yeah, the doors are absolutely going to slide open and you're going to walk through into this executive level. And you remember being here before, right? I mean, you remember the laboratories because this is where the science happens. You remember the office suites. Your parents took you to work once or twice, so you did actually see this this level. And then and then there you are in the executive level. And I tell you what, Bridgett, I wouldn't mind just a little change in energy. Can we do another little 5-minute break?
Oh, absolutely. You want to do 5 or you don't want to do 10?
Let's do 5 and we'll see if it's a long 5 minutes.
I absolutely love it, guys. We'll see you back in 5. Okay, we should be back, and I'm going to briefly throw up the map. Okay.
So here we are. We're in this immense ship in the depths of space, and you guys have worked your way up from the cargo bay, and you emerge onto this corporate level. And this is, if you ever wanted to find out about Extraxo or anything about the ship that the company that sent you here, this is where you'd find it out. And so we have the corporate level, and we have the ship's computer, Diana, on the level above. And what you guys will see on the corporate level, so as you walk out, you can see this sort of vast array of, well, imagine cubicles, imagine the sort of worst corporate place in your head. Imagine the Extraxor logo hanging above. There are terminals, there are notebooks, and then off to the side there are some glass-walled laboratories, which do look like sort of laboratory benches. And Dipesh, the guy who's with you, will shoulder his backpack and go, I'm going to the laboratories. I think that's where my daughter is. I don't know where you guys are going.
Cozy, these are your stomping grounds. Do you have any thoughts on where we should go?
We'll look around the space. We want the executive's office if there's any details, let alone stuff to access the computer.
Oh, so Cozy, right? You know this space, right? As you're looking around and trying to orient yourself, you're remembering, in some sense, coming here before, and you're like, well, my parents were the deputy vice president's offices, and that's over there. It's almost like as you come in, you're automatically taking a path.
Yeah.
That you've taken many times.
And I will lead the group across the cubicle space towards where those offices are. Looking over, and it's like there's a Jones sat there. Penelope was there. Ashish was over there. Catman was there. And as we get closer to where the offices are, he'll just stop when he sees them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the nameplate that's on the door.
Oh, which I'm dying to know. What is the nameplate on the door?
Yeah. And that will be your parents' name on the door. And I think this is when one of the silvery antibodies, it's not close, but you hear it whir and pass the end of the corridor. And, well, actually, maybe this time it turns and starts coming towards you. And has it detected you, or?
Oh, see, can you open that door? Can you get us in there, please?
He's kind of frozen because the door that he's most looking at also says Cozy Barnes.
Cozy, can you get us in?
Yeah. Go up to the door, and this time he'll at first he thinks he's putting in his mom's code, but he stops, clears it, and puts in his code.
You do.
Because this is my office.
And you walk in, and this all feels familiar. And Juno, in your ear, there's a voice that goes, don't you remember all this?
Dan, I want to. I really do. What's affecting our memories right now? Is this the glitch? Is this a biological agent? What's happening to us?
You're remembering. That's what's happening.
We are.
You're home.
And then I'll close the door, and I'll put in the panic code to seal it.
Oh, cool. And are you all inside now?
I think so.
I figured the three of us, yeah.
Yeah. And Vika, how does all this feel to you? Because you've spent years trying to work your way up, and
Yeah, and I think that there's also a part of this that's really kind of like bumping Vika because like her whole thing is professional competence
Yeah.
and like being on top of her shit and just like being the rock, being the one that's the solid part of everything. So I think that the fact that she's like glitching out with her memories, I think that it's making her feel something and she can't process it, so she's just getting angry, she's just getting like more and more frustrated, and like the memories are kind of like scratching at the back of her head and she's trying to like focus, and I think she's just she's kind of like, Cozy, can you please can you get me into one of these terminals, please? I need to look at these medical records. I need to fucking understand what the hell's going on here.
I'll tap on the nearest console with the authorization code to authorize her access, and then I'll head over to the desk.
actually, I tell you what, can we just do this, Vika? You know the authorization code.
Oh shit.
So I think she's like, Cozy, can you just get me into? And then she'll just kind of idly tap out something that's just like coming to her as she's like actually touching the keys. And then when the screen comes to life, I think she's just like, Jesus Christ. And she'll look herself up first. She'll try to pull up her own medical record.
Cozy's gone over to the desk.
Yeah. And so there you are. I mean, you said medical records, but there you are, Vika. You have a record on the transparency. You're not near the top levels of the sort of executive echelons, but you have a comfortable job. And Vika, isn't this better?
It's all here, and I can be of use here. This is there's a lot of people dead, so room for advancement. And then like having that thought, I think that there's a part of her that just goes, ew, like, yeah, don't do that.
Oh God, are you remembering who you really are now?
There is something very comforting about all of this, Vika. The idea that you have this comfortable job and you grew up here, and all that fighting your way up the ladder that happened on that thing you remember. Maybe that's just not real.
I wouldn't have to fight. I'm great at what I do. Okay, hey, I think that I think that this might be, I think it might be home.
It's
I
home.
think it might be.
And Cozy's over at the desk and is holding a picture frame.
All right. What's the picture frame?
It's a wood with a gold inlay, but it's a picture of Cozy, his wife, and his daughter.
Here on the transparency. And Juno, in your ear, Diana says, I made all this for you. Don't you want it?
Oh, I do, Diana. I really do. But why was it taken away from us in the first place? And I'm going to slide into one of these terminals and see what I can pull up on Extracsa as a company.
Oh yeah, let's roll for pulling up stuff on Extractor.
This is good. I, very similar to Vic, am grappling with heightened senses of not only urgency but anger and betrayal, and I refuse to acknowledge exactly how vulnerable I feel with the confusion. All that to say, I am going to go ahead and risk my change die on this one too. Y'all send thoughts and prayers. Y'all know I'm at 5.
Jeffrey.
4 on the change die. Highest roll is a 6. I actually rolled a 4, 5, 6.
Wow.
When you absolutely positively hate your job and you want the tea on them.
No, that's great. I'm just going to hold that 6 a bit because I'm going to do something nasty, but just in a moment.
Of course you are.
Bridgett, what would you like to know about Extractor?
Because I don't know what I can trust. I want a baseline on Extraxa, and then I want a personnel file on Extraxa. Do we actually work for Extraxa? Have we ever worked for Extraxa? What is Transparency's relationship to Extraxa? And I really want Diana to answer me whenever she gets a chance, if she chooses, on why was this taken away from us in the first place.
So, despite Diana talking in your ear, you can gradually work out what's happening, and a lot of this is stuff that Diana has constructed to make you less of a threat and make you feel comfortable. And you can gradually realize that that the Transparency, there are records of some sort of disaster. It was crushed, and after that, the antibodies went round trying to put everything right, including trying to put people's memories right. This isn't real.
Cozy has started crying at his desk.
Juno is also crying at her terminal.
Vig is just pissed. Oh, okay, guys, come on. We don't have time for this. We got to keep fucking moving. Juno?
Vika, it's not real. None of this is real. There was a catastrophic event on this ship, and the goddamn computer and the antibodies are trying to make us feel better.
Vika, that can't be right. This.
Look.
You go.
No, please.
Do you actually need to go anywhere? Couldn't you just stay here at this desk and live this slightly comfortable life?
Then taking on what Juno said and having that thought. Okay, fine. It's not real. Fine. None of this is real. Our mission isn't real. Our jobs aren't real. All of the things that we've done with our lives aren't fucking real. Okay. Why don't we just sit back and relax? And I think she'll walk over to some chair and very angrily kind of sit down and then just pointedly put her feet up. Look, nothing's real. Nothing fucking matters.
Something stops outside the window.
Ah, fuck. The antibodies are real. Those are real, Vika. Did your camouflage drop?
I think maybe I was a little too loud. Graham, is it an antibody? Jesus Christ.
Oh, yeah. It's an antibody.
Of course
So
it is. It's just
there's a whirring as it just moves towards the door, or maybe it's trying to look for you.
I put the panic door lock on.
Mm-hmm. You did. You said that, yeah.
I'm shaking my head thinking that's not going to matter to an antibody that has access to everything in the ship. Diana, you're here to protect us, right? That's what you've been doing since the event?
I'm here to make things right.
If that antibody gets in here, things are going to go wrong, right?
You don't want things to be right, do you, Juno? I've given you all this and you don't want it.
No, I do. I want to be at home and I want to understand, but I also don't want to die to a goddamn robot, Diana. Can you send it away? Are you able to communicate with them? I'm yelling.
I can't do that, Juno.
Oh, fuck's sakes.
I think you've remembered too much.
And I will walk up behind Juno and jab them with the memory anesthetic.
Yes!
Holy shit.
Let's do it.
Oh,
Holy shit.
All right. So are we going to do a competitive role here? So I'm going to assume Juno does not want to be jabbed with a memory aesthetic.
After that threat that Diana just dropped, we're remembering too much. I'm 50-50. I think it's going off of instinct, which is going to be a threat is coming after me, respond in kind with no actual thought onto it. So yeah, I'll be resisting.
Yeah, no, that's good. Yep, both of you give me a roll, and the highest will win, and then we'll talk about re-rolls and things.
What'd you get, Bridgett?
I got a 4.
I got a 5.
Yes!
Now, Bridgett, you can re-roll if you want. That's a thing you can do. But as things stand, and let's have this happening, you will feel the memory aesthetic jab into your shoulder and begin to squirt inside you.
Phrasing.
Yeah. Phrasing. I'm so uncomfortable. Bridgett is going to opt not to re-roll.
Okay.
Can we?
What? Come on.
If Vika, I think, has a view of this because she was talking to Juno, so I think that she can even see Cozy coming. And if she sees Juno start to resist, I think that she will help to like hold her, like just restrain her. Juno, just let it happen.
Oh God. And I'm still screaming about Diana. No, she's saying we're remembering too much. She can control the antibodies so restrained and getting stabbed. This should be great.
Amazing. And Juno, you can feel those memories dissolving. That thing that you just found on the computer, you can't even remember really what it was anymore. And then things are okay. You're in this comfortable office. You're on this comfortable ship that feels very familiar. And outside, the antibody turns and just drifts away.
Rapid fire questions for you here, Graham.
Mm-hmm.
Does my change go back by 1?
Oh, yeah. Give me a change roll downwards. Yeah.
No, damn it. I just wanted you to say yes. It rolls back by 1. Shit. I was at a 5 and I rolled a 5.
No, I'm afraid it doesn't.
Wow. Wow.
The disrespect. Okay. The antibody moves past the window, and I'm going to. Do I remember Cozy and? Oh fuck! This is the next question I don't want to ask. Do I remember Cozy and Vic?
These people feel familiar, yeah, and it all feels quite familiar that you're working together in this office.
And I know I've been injected. I know what I've been injected with. I just don't remember what I don't remember. I'm gonna jerk away from the two of them.
Juno.
Mm,
Come on. You're okay. You're home.
mm-hmm.
And as Vic is calming Juno down, I jab her as well.
That's yes.
Fantastic.
Okay. Why? What are you trying to erase from Vika? Talk me through where this is going, Perry.
Protect my staff.
Protect your staff. Excellent. And I have to say, by the way, this now feels as though it's heading towards an end. This is an end I've never seen in this game, which I'm delighted
Yes! Yes!
And if we want to go for an end where you guys sort of live your new lives on the transparency, you go for it. That's amazing. That sounds bleak and horrible. I am into that shit. So yeah, all right. You can, Vika, would you? Are you okay with being jabbed with a memory anesthetic, or would you like to resist that?
I think that I am okay with it because as long as Vika can, she is hyper focused on mission now. Like her mind is like, we've been given this task. We're gonna whatever is the mission right now. We're doing the mission. So I think that like if she has a sense that not remembering certain things will help them get forward, then she'll just take it.
Holy shit. Okay.
Okay.
I think she might even like give a look to Kosi, before he goes for it. Just like a
Okay. So do we want to do that moment? So do your eyes meet just before he stabs you with the memory anesthetic?
yeah, and like her eyes will flick down to the syringe or the hypodermic or whatever, and then back up to his and just a little nod.
And return it and step back.
And you can feel your memories dissolving as well, Vika. What were we wanting, Cozy? There were we wanting her to sort of forget any doubt she had about being on the transparency, or where were we going with that?
Did that she's doing her job right now. She knows what she's doing the most, and that is protect the people.
Mm.
The job was the aspect that attracted him in the first place, which is why they had an affair.
All right. And then, so you can feel your memories slightly going, and Vika, you're a bit confused. What's real and what didn't? Was there an affair now that you've forgotten about? And then, Cozy, what do you do?
So, Vika, your patient needs your assistance.
Right, yeah. Do you know? Do you know where you are?
I am going to look over at Vika, and then I'm going to look directly at Kosi. You need to lead by example.
Yeah, I am. Which means I have one or two more things to do.
No, you need to lead by example. We're on the same page now, or you're a threat.
Oh, I agree. I know. There's one more thing I have to do before I can take this as well.
Guys, there's a lot of tension, there's a lot of emotions. Can we all just get on the same page?
Agreed. We're going to be there. I just have one more thing I have to do first.
Can you just do it then? Can you do it so we can keep going?
Yes, that's what I want to do. I just want to make sure the job's done.
Okay.
What is the thing that Cozy needs to do?
At which point, Cozy will call out, Diana, what is the state of the engines?
The engines are damaged, but could be repaired.
Do we have enough thrust in them to at least maneuver?
We can slowly maneuver.
Very good. Please plot a course for the glitch.
Yeah.
And set an orbit. And then he will jab himself.
Yeah.
Cozy, wait, no. Oh, Cozy, why? Why are you taking us to the glitch?
To finish this. We lost the memories. But this isn't living either. And he'll fade out. Or at least the self that's there will fade away.
Vika, are we going to let this go? Or would you like to contest it in any way? Or
I think that she would, just based on what she knows about the glitch, I think that she has like a healthy respect / fear for it of it. So I think that she might, I mean, like, her access wouldn't be anything like Cozy's, but like I think that she might start just like trying to Diana, no, please, Diana, belay that order, please. We do not have a commanding officer right now, please. Diana.
Cozy Barnes is senior to you, Vika.
Yes. Yes.
Plotting a course for the glitch.
Oh my God.
Shit.
Do you know, is there anything that you can do? Can you?
And the ship will begin to maneuver towards this large golden wound in space.
Cozy, didn't you? You're gonna kill us. You know that, right? You're gonna kill everybody on the ship.
Smile, just like my daughter's. Such a beautiful smile. Just like hers. I'll have to introduce you to her someday.
Diana, this is Vika Laszlo, medical officer. Our executive, our on-ship executive is not in his right mind. He cannot be issuing orders. Diana.
I don't think Diana's answering you at the moment. So you're going to get closer and closer to the glitch. She's quite happy with this state of affairs. And as you get closer, the sense of time and reality begins to slip away. Would you guys like to go into the glitch, or would you like to, in some way, try and get away?
Sounds kind of like we're going into the glitch.
I think we're going into the glitch.
There is the escape pods.
I want front row seats of us going into the glitch. Whatever viewing window, viewing port, whatever way that I can get front row seats into this. That is where I am going to go and post up. If I have to go back down to the kitchen in the wall and get another bowl of that soup, that I would not do, because I don't remember that soup. Because that soup I never had that soup. I scratch everything that I just said in my own delirium, and I'm just going to go get a front row seat to the glitch.
That sounds great. And there can be a viewing platform on this level. So the executive viewing platform, and you can look out as this gold thing gets closer and closer. Is Vika going in, or is she getting away?
You know what? I think that so Nic wants to go into the glitch, but I think Vika might still be kind of on this, like, well, this isn't the mission. So she might be like just kind of ineffectively trying to like get access to Diana to like reroute the, to redirect the ship. But she's kind of staying there in that room with them.
Okay. Yeah. That sounds good with me. Okay, I think we should have one last roll. So let's do a roll just to see which way this goes. So Cozy, let's do a roll to go into the glitch. Vika, let's do a roll to abort going into the glitch, and we will just see which way this goes.
Can I do like a penalty die or something? No,
we don't have those. No.
Yeah. Is this game is all?
I am going to be rolling opposed to somebody.
God.
Juno, give me a roll as well, and you want to go into the glitch, right?
Yes. Bridgett is team glitch.
And what is Juno doing to make this happen?
Can I still speak to Diana? Do I still have that connection to Diana?
Sure, you can speak to her. Yeah.
So this is going to be one of those things that I'm going to go to my desk. I am going to, pull out that bottle of whatever it is that I was saving for a rainy day, a happy day, an ultimate day, my first promotion, whatever it is that I was saving it for. I'll go back to the sleeping quarters and grab whatever blanket that I was sleeping in, that duvet cover. Yeah, and I'm going to wrap myself in this white duvet cover. I'm going to sit on the ground and pull my knees to my chest. I'm going to open up this bottle. I'm going to pour myself a single drink, and I am going to say to Diana, we're going home, right?
We're going home.
Let's make sure we get there.
And the ship accelerates towards the glitch. And then... Okay, so everyone make me a roll.
So the opposition roll was a 4. What did you get for yours, Nic?
6.
God damn it! I got a 4 as well.
All right. Would anyone like to re-roll, or shall we?
I will re-roll. Can I do that?
Can you re-roll against yourself?
You got to re-roll your 6 downwards.
Fine. I want to go in the glitch. That sounds like fun.
I'll take a chance at trying to go home. The beautiful thing about this, guys, if I hit a 6, I'm at a 5. This would be like a double whammy. So we'll see how it goes.
Is this? Oh, this is our change die.
3 and a 2. I tried.
No, that's fine. And so I think what's gonna happen at the last minute is the ship will hover just outside the glitch, not so far, Juno and Cozy, that you couldn't get into it if you wanted, but the ship hovers outside of the glitch and goes, and Diana does talk to you, Vika, and goes, this isn't the way. I protect this ship.
Well then, Counterman Cozy's a directive and give me control of the ship.
It's countermanded.
Take us back out.
And the ship begins to move away. Cozy and Tuna, do you want to do anything?
The conversation that's happened with Diana and Vic, is it out loud, like on the intercoms, or is this another telepathic
That was
situation?
a private conversation, I think. Yeah.
He's sort of singing to the picture of his daughter when he notices the ship has shifted. At which point he gets up, starts looking around. Where's Vic?
Doing what the fuck Vic always does. Think of herself.
Which point, because I got two options going buffering in my head. I don't know which one's going to work better. Very well. Diana, why are we changing course?
Isn't the way, Cozy? I protect this ship.
Understood. And he'll reach into a drawer and pull an item out and release the security code on his door and exit out and head for the door, the passage control up to the computer.
Yeah, no, that's excellent. And I think that's interesting actually. So let's, because I would like you to go there. So for a moment, the antibodies will pass in the corridor, and but they won't see you at the moment. And there is a shaft that goes straight upwards, and that is where Diana is.
Diana, what is the state of the ship?
So let's imagine you emerging into this hemispherical room. There's no gravity here. There's glowing surface around you. And Diana goes, I'm putting the ship right.
Explain, please.
This is my job. To make things right.
Was it your job to take our memories?
Yes.
Why?
Put things back how they were meant to be. Isn't it better to forget some things, Cozy?
You mean like my daughter? Can you give her back to me?
And then, actually, Cozy, the memory of your daughter just drizzles out of your head for a moment.
Oh, the disrespect. Oh, wow.
I can change what you remember. What else would you like to forget, Cozy?
At that point, Cozy just goes blank.
How do you mean he goes blank?
If the system is running this analysis, he's just had a massive psychological break with the loss of the memory of his daughter taken. He's got a massive hole, which doesn't explain why he's done anything. It's been taken, but nothing's been put back. So his actions, none of it, just sort of, he's in a frozen state. Because his daughter was his drive.
And I think maybe if you're standing there with Diana all around you, you can just feel, your memory just being put back together in the way she would like it to be. Maybe those bad memories of your parents just slip away for a moment. And they're gone, and that actually feels really good, right? But instead you have a comfortable memory of growing up here on the Transparency. And that comfortable childhood of being executive here with your parents. Feels good.
Diana, please initiate ship-wide memory reprogramming, please. It is for the best interests of the crew.
Initiated. And Vika and Juno, you can now feel Diana probing away at your memories as well. So, and you're welcome to resist this, by the way. I'm not going to just. I wanted to narrate it with Cozy because it was fun, but but you can feel her trying to take your bad memories away and give you something more comfortable instead. So, Juno, that memory of taking the fall for that girl, you can feel that slipping away. Vika, all the struggle you went through, you can feel that her trying to take that as well.
If there is any connection with Diana, I think that she's not resisting, but, she's basically she's saying to Diana, I don't need to remember the struggle, but I did work hard. Could you please let me remember being successful? Please.
Is that what you want to remember?
That's what I want everybody to remember.
Mm.
And are you resisting, or are you happy for Diana to go into your mind and just kind of
happy to let it happen. Yeah.
yeah. And so she will arrange things, and Vika now has the memory, maybe not of that hard struggle, but of being successful and finally making it. And Juno, what are you doing with Diana probing around at your memories?
I have been riding so much charge and so much anger for so long. Everyone hits a wall eventually. I don't resist. It's an active surrender.
So when she comes for the anger and that begins to disappear, you're kind of like, I'm okay to let that go.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine.
It's fine.
And it feels really, really good. And then gradually she just takes away the bad memories, and all of you have this memory of growing up on this beautiful ship with a mission and of being successful and comfortable. And do you guys want one more moment, or should I just do the epilogue with the exchange coming back? Give me a brief description of Cozy. Give me a brief description of what Cozy does next.
Cozy will return to his office and begin pulling up reports.
Love it. And then Vika?
I think Vika is concerned with the welfare of all of the crew on the ship, all of the survivors on here. So she's going around making sure that everybody has been successfully reprogrammed and isn't trying to, resist or fight anything off. And she might subdue anyone who seems like they're resisting.
Yeah, that makes sense. So you can go and find the survivors, and some of them are happy to let their memories go back, and others are not. And the antibodies are not bothering you now. They seem to be kind of going back into their less spiky state.
But can Vika be like walking into like I think it was the maintenance level where all the survivors are just like flanked by two antibodies?
Oh my God.
Yes.
Love it.
Yes.
Yep. And so let's just have that moment of Vika standing there and the two spiky antibodies, and the survivors just turn and they know. They know they have to give in.
Oh, that is so good,
so
Nick.
Much easier. This will be so much easier if you just let us do our work. And just goes to town.
And then Nick, give me one last scene with Juno.
Oh, Nick, Jesus, that was such a showstopper. I'm a fixer by nature, and I now have identified our protector. My entire focus is going to be, how do I empower, bolster, and protect Diana? Software updates, manual updates, whatever it takes to protect Diana. She sacrificed so much to protect us.
And so we can just have you maybe up in the server room, connecting things up, repairing some memories that were broken in the incident. And I like the idea, so let's pull back the camera now, and we'll again come back to this crushed and charred ship with you three living on it in some way. And I like the idea that now it's 24 hours later, and the exchange comes back ready to pick you up and scans the ship, and then just veers away again, leaving you all to your new lives on the Transparency. And should we leave it there? Yay.
Holy shit. And that, friends of the Symphony, is where our show ends for tonight. If you are not a backer, you should be, because this talk back is about to be fire. Thank you so much to everyone who joined in or is currently watching the replay. You're indeed the best part of waking up. To become a Symphony backer, join us over on patreon.com/Symphony Entertainment. Let's run through the auditorium one more time, starting with Perry, Nick, ending with Graham, and tell us who you are, where we can find you, and any of your hyperboles and plugs.
Hello, I'm Perry Clark, licensed marriage and family therapist, and yes, you're in suicidal executive after losing his daughter and basically forced rewriting everybody on the ship. But I don't do that in real life. My biggest goal is trying to help you work through trauma here at my therapy practice. Otherwise, you can also find me on Untying Knots, Minds and Souls Untethered, where we talk about the intersection. Just the look on all their faces. Talk about the intersection between mental health, gaming, and various life identities as well.
Nick.
Yeah, that was. I wish I had anything as cool as. I'm Nic Rosenberg. I am this much of a bitch in real life as well, so those tracks are parallel. You can come listen to some shenanigans on the Ain't Slayed Nobody podcast. It's a Call of Cthulhu podcast. We do some other systems every now and then. It's a lot of different content. It's not as dark as this all the time. Sometimes it's lighter. That's great. But yeah, come on over. Ain't Slayed Nobody. See you there.
I'll get a link for Ain't Slayed Nobody. Graham?
I'm Graham Walmsley. I'm pretty sure I'm an executive on board the Transparency, working for Extractor. If you'd like to support me and encourage me to do more things like that, why? No, don't stop. But yeah, so you can back me on my Patreon, which is www.patreon.com/Graham. I'm back next week, aren't I, Bridgett?
Oh my goodness, yes you are. My closing thing here is a quick flyer for that bad boy. Graham is coming by to run a sonata, guys.
So I'm back next week with Scott Dorward. I think he's done stuff before, make him feel welcome.
He sounds familiar, but that memory is just being pulled away.
I know. Me and Scott should never be allowed to play together. If you want to see the result, it's next week. We're doing it on Symphony. We're going to do an hour's improvised thing, and we will just see what happens.
Whoo, Graham. You ran the brakes off of that one. Thank you to everyone again for joining in. We hope you've enjoyed the Symphony, and we look forward to seeing you guys again soon. Have a wonderful night. Mwah!